Go ahead, turn that.
I'm gonna put the stream on for Misty. She's on the porch, so she can look at.
Yeah.
So,
Here,
she can see
see?
Flame's hair. Hold on.
Hold on, it says something like that again.
Yeah.
3.
And I'm sure I'm going to fuck things up as we get into this, so don't mind any immersion breaking bullshit.
Oh, that's fine.
I mean, it's just us anyway.
We're gonna be doing that anyway. Here, hold on.
Yeah.
I mean, I get Missy's glasses so she can see what she's seeing.
My glasses.
Oh, she's blind without them now. Reading her far away. It's bad. I'm going that way too. I need bifocals now.
No.
Losing it. We're all falling apart.
I need to get bifocals myself. I can't read worth shit anymore.
You know, I've hit that problem too. Like, just even these books, it's like, man, that font print is really small, you know?
Dude, it was like 3 months after I turned fucking 40 it started happening. I was high one night and I'm like, am I having trouble seeing? Or am I just that high? And I was like, nope, I was not that high.
No, it's good fuzzier. I'm going to have to think about that sort of shit too.
Fuck glasses.
You shut your damn mouth. Fucking
Fuck
noobs.
glasses. Fuck glasses.
Hey, Flame. Show off your hair on
Yes.
camera.
What?
I'd
show off your
rather
hair on the camera.
contacts.
Show your hair
I'd
off on
rather
camera.
contacts. Huh?
I'm telling Flame to show his hair off real quick.
Oh.
Let me know when you get back there, Dar.
It looks a lot better, actually. I'll be honest.
My hair or the
hair.
me?
Your hair.
Yeah.
That beard,
It doesn't
that
feel
beard
better.
goatee thing might have to
It
go.
feels
You know.
crazy as fuck, dude. Like, hopefully that'll stop happening as much because I was stuck in a very, very dusty area for the work the last month, and so like every day I would just come home covered in dust, like wiping like globs of fucking oily dust off my face and shit.
This is
I remember
So, like,
working in a factory. That was not fun. I
This
used
is
to work
proud
on
of
a
you.
welding line.
Yeah, it not far off. When I was grinding welds, it was dusty, but it wasn't quite as bad. But what I'm doing now, it's like super light. Basically, it's like an epoxy that I'm grinding with a belt grinder. So like it's just straight dust back there, and they're just not like as I was quitting was the day that they were going to finally put up a ventilation.
Oh no, that's always
I don't-
lame.
How do we turn the volume down?
Under music
Go to
section.
the playlist tab there, and you
All right,
have your volume controls. You can set the playlists one there initially to kind of get the starting volume, and then you can adjust the initial the tracks as they
No,
go.
I've turned everything to 0. And it's all, I can hear all of it. Still as loud as it was before.
There's 2 separate
Did you
sliders.
try the current?
I know.
Did you try
I've
currently
moved
playing?
all of the sliders to 0. Still hear it.
I don't know what to tell you there.
Let me see. Let me see if
Okay.
I
I
can mute
mean,
it.
you guys.
Hold on. I'm muted.
Huh.
I went from 63
I'm
to
wondering if I don't have control.
Oh, that just stopped.
Now-
Let's stop right now.
Now it's gone. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play it now.
Everybody else hearing it?
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
Okay. Now mine's turned down.
I muted it, and it's muted for me.
Now-
I've noticed that the music implementation in Foundry is a little bit hit or miss. Sometimes you have to restart the client for it to.
Yeah, now like if I move it up, I don't hear anything, which is fine because I'd rather hear you guys than the music. To be honest.
I'm not going to have music for everything, but you know,
I really
kinda
like the
wanna-
music personally. It adds like a more of a feel to it. It's like the environment.
By the way,
Yeah.
there's a player screen at the bottom right. Click. It gives you all the stuff.
Yeah, I've got a couple
Ooh.
of cheat sheets set up there under that screen.
Wow.
There's an
I
like that
action and
earlier.
movements one, skills and weapon rules.
Oh,
I've
that
added
moved
some
on me.
special abilities stuff just so we can track more. I can also add more tabs like this for like reference materials if you guys want stuff like that.
Yes, I'd like that. Like for quest items and stuff. If you could do something
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I'll have to set it up later on. Like a lot of this stuff takes a little bit of work to put together, but hopefully tonight you guys will appreciate it.
I'm
And
sure.
I guess-
speaking of appreciation,
Okay, all
Some
of those are macros.
Are we having sex?
That's what I appreciate about you, Spuds.
Erlil. So you find yourself drifting in a void, a black.
Here before.
It's almost like you've been asleep for a very long time. Time has begun to stretch on, and memories of your past life have begun to flood through your mind. Almost like, that flash at the end of your life where you begin to see, like a movie, your history replayed to you. But as you recall, that memory begins to twist, fade into nothingness, till there is a single moment where you just hear a whisper. No.
No?
And your eyes open.
Was that a now or a no?
Yeah, now or no?
Nah, or no.
Okay, good. Not today.
As your eyes open,
Ah, that's pretty.
you find yourself in this swirling void of color and light and spectacle. You
Get out of my
find
vision.
yourself drifting in the air towards you don't know where. But the lights are brilliant and blinding.
This
But you also feel like
I
you're
know.
not alone in this void. In fact, as you're beginning to drift ahead and your mind reeling from this life that you had that's both there and not, a figure of a woman. You aren't able to make out any features because she's translucent and blue, floating in front of you, like with this quizzical expression on her face.
Hello.
Confused.
Hi.
You're an anomaly. You're not from here. And then an eyeball, floating, gigantic, kind of hovers to your eye, and your face kind of analyzes, probing deep. Confirmed. He is not of this plane. Where does he belong? And the woman kind of floats up to your face. Who are you?
Hi. I'm Erlil. I think.
Erlil.
Not sure.
The name is unfamiliar.
Yeah, me too, lady.
There's a swirling of three different icons. There's the blue lady who's present. There's this eye, and then there's a third presence who feels a bit colder, a little bit more distant.
Dad?
It's
Daddy?
it's
Daddy!
nice.
Father, no!
Daddy, don't hit me again! I promise I'll do the dishes! Sorry.
It has the faint touch of a divine presence. This cold voice speaks. You are blessed by some forgotten deity, some forgotten god, but you don't belong here. There's confusion as you drift in this void.
Their name is I know
You
it like
don't
my own
remember.
name.
You are damaged.
Oh, bad.
You do not seem whole. You do not seem complete. And then the woman vanishes.
I didn't even get their name.
And they swirl around you again, just kind of, you get the sense of like in your mind, it's very hard to identify the feeling, but it's like there is a presence that's just probing, and it's unfeeling, it's uncaring, it's just purely analyzing the data of your soul. And you hear this almost like a construct's voice, because you have no concept of what is robotic or AI or anything like that. But there is this analyzing presence that begins to speak. It is 98% certain that this entity has been sent from somewhere not belonging to this plane of reality. It is a gift or trash. I'm not sure which. Results inconclusive. And this cold presence, also mechanical in a way. Trash still has benefits. We can put it to use. Maybe it needs to be here. And the woman floats up to you again. We are triune. Three made one. We guard and safekeep where we are now. And you find yourself hurtling down this portal, essentially, surrounding you. You know, this vast purple cloud. And this is the drift. Space between worlds.
Do you have a name?
Now we don't know why you are here, but you have a choice in this moment. You can either be or not. Leave it up to you. But you're here. But I personally believe you're here for a reason.
To be or not to be, that is a quandary.
Mm-hmm.
That's not familiar.
She smiles a little bit. I think you're decent, but we never can be sure about these things.
Arlo kind of like holds his hand up and just tries to like kind of summon something, like a past like feeling, like, you know, divinity, pretty much like your paladin shit.
Yeah.
But he's like,
Give me a mysticism roll.
sure.
First roll of the campaign.
Oh boy.
Oh shit!
Oh boy.
So
All
You
right, hold
just-
on here.
You click on it, and it rolls
We're
somewhere.
gonna find out.
Yep.
My concern is I have 2 rolls.
15.
Sorry, I have
21.
2.
What'd you say, Grinder? Sorry, go ahead.
Well,
Yeah,
I have because I can't pop out the character sheet and put it onto another screen. If I have
that module broke, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I have like I have 2 copies of the Foundry desktop. One that actually has the background and all the chat and everything else, and then the other one I have open with my character sheet spread out basically to the entire window,
That's
so that I
pretty
can
good.
actually, you know, I just don't know if. Well, let me check it.
You just click
All right.
mysticism or perception or whatever. Just click it. It gives you a roll option. That's all you
Yep.
do.
Okay, so it does show up over there
That's
as well.
not my
Okay,
number.
cool.
That's not my number.
You can
I
always check the chat log to see what a roll is.
I just wanted to know that it would roll over on the other
Mhm.
version of the open
Yeah.
Foundry table. So it looks like it's working good. So
Cool.
okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
I get that. I want that to work.
So-
21. So yeah, 21.
Yeah. You reach out, like you're there, like you don't even remember how, but like instinctively your mind goes towards that divine presence of Shantea that you've always felt. And distant, but there's a flicker there still, and there's a spark. And you can almost feel this divine energy kind of it's erratic now. You used to be able to channel it with certainty, with conviction. And here it's like if you've ever like had a hose of water there's something in the way and it's beginning to like spurt, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's not
Kink in the
You're
hose.
putting
not
your thumb in front of the
consistent
tip of
flow.
the hose.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Or
like
when you pee in two
it's
directions. Yeah.
hmm yeah, the stream is definitely making a
Sprinkler.
mess fucking everywhere, and like you can't control it. It's wild. It's this, and it doesn't feel right anymore. And the three presences around you kind of react. There's this sudden like intense focus on what you've done.
Erlo, like the flicker is like, you say something about trash now, and kind of looks at like between the three of them. He kind of closes his hand on and lets it down. I'm not even sure what I did though.
Unfamiliar. That energy signature is unfamiliar.
Not to me. Well, the answer to your
You're
question is to be, by the way.
The woman smiles. I thought so. We will send you to the source, the origin point. I think that's where you need to go. But you may. And then you see shadows begin to form along the edges of the drift, as if something has just awakened to your presence and is now focused on you. And you feel something of a malevolent touch to this presence that you've now attracted with your flickering energies of divine light. And the woman now looks to the horizon, and there's a moment of like panic. And then she just leans real close to you and says, "Try your best. You don't get second chances very often." And then you are sent hurtling through time and space, and these shadows begin to grow into corners, whispering and reaching and growing closer. Then time stops, and your moment is gone. And that's what we'll stop with you for right now.
There you go.
Wibbly wobbly, Tommy wimey.
Oh man, I should have done Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Which
Hello.
one though?
Hello, I'm the
Which
doctor.
one?
Tennant or Capaldi. Tennant or Capaldi. Take your pick. Smith, he's good. Not my doctor. And Tennant's coming back, baby. 10 and 14.
I was a Matt Smith for a long time, just
I
because
mean, he was
my first
on for
Doctor.
fucking ever when
Why?
I
So was
started.
Tennant, but I started
But
watching Tennant. That's what I started watching before Matt
I
Smith.
know.
yeah, I started watching on.
Enough of that.
Although, something in the library from that series is amazing. Go ahead. Sorry.
So now, as we leave this scene of metaphysical bullshit, as it were,
I kind of feel like I've been here before somehow. Like I've been in this situation. Like I keep getting into it. Sorry.
why do I keep finding myself in this fucking
How do I
situation?
keep getting hit? Like hurled through time and
Eating
space.
your dialogue.
I'm not dead. I didn't die. Just got
So
child support. He's Sam Beckett.
now we descend onto Absalom Station, this brilliant city in the center of the universe, essentially. Absalom Station is the hub of the Pact Worlds. It has the unique capacity of being the one place in the universe where you can always jump home within a matter of days. There's some law in the universe regarding drift travel, the hyperspace between worlds that people use to traverse the universe. But for some weird quirk of fate, all ships can warp from in the drift back to Absalom Station in a matter of days. No matter how far they are out in the universe, they can always come back home, just like that.
Shit was
because of this, we find that Absalom has become sort of like the central hub of the universe. Traders and mercenaries and tourists, adventurers and merchants, they all find themselves flooding and eventually coming back to Absalom Station because the best goods are trafficked here. The finest weapons can be found here for the right price. Fortunes are made here. Corporations and cities, or like huge populations, have kind of formed themselves around this, shining city in the sky, right? Absalom Station has also some unique history because it is the remnants of old Galarian, which is the a world of basically fantasy races. You have humans and dwarves and elves that have all found themselves as almost refugees here on this station, and no one knows what happened to old Galarian. But as we descend into the trafficked skies of Absalom, there's small shuttles and hovercrafts zipping and through their commute. There's also, as we descend down into Little Akaton, just little. Where's my fucking pinger? Where's my pinger? God damn it!
Oh,
There we go, right there.
wish I could
Little
see my own shit on this map.
So Little Akaton is a dingy little dock that's named Little Akaton because the planet Akaton happens to be the home of several Yasaki, and so it's a little bit of a little racist undertone, perhaps.
Shock.
There are basically some of the worst find themselves in Little Akaton. It's a crime-ridden neighborhood with some of the worst docking officials to run here. And most people will pay extra money not to dock in Little Akaton because it
Little
means that
oh,
their cargo won't walk off. There's a serious crime component there, and many of these docks are controlled by gangs and shady corporations. But one little garage and dock in particular is run by a man named Tyrant. He was an android. Let me bring up his character sheet so you guys can kind of get my fucking AI art bullshit here. Sony Actors tab, you should be able to see Tyron Sylvester there. Green hat, Android man.
not
No?
yet.
Not
No.
yet?
I see the background of the garage on the screen, but I don't see anything but the Game Master token floating around. So
I
there's no.
love this fucking art of him. I love it.
Do you like it?
Where
It
is
should be
it?
in your it should be in your actors pane, bud. Under
My
NPCs.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Ah. No, I thought you were dragging that onto like the main screen area.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I certainly can. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, put it there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there you go. So, I thought you said for a second there he's run by an android. This is an android? I thought it looks like an old ass human.
Yep. That's what I'm saying about androids is there's a
Um,
mix there. So
am I?
artificial skin and
I'm assuming that this is the only place, is the poorer areas of the station, and it's the only ones that are allowed to be owned by, say, robot androids. Hence, racism and
well,
poverty and whatever.
Tynan sort of has a history of being or Tyran, sorry, sort of has a his soft spot for lower or androids down on his luck because he was formerly that. He woke up and as a spare parts bin basically, and kind of put his life together from there. Worked his way up and eventually found his way to owning some of these this particular hangar that you've been working here for about 6 months now. I don't know how long you've been on Absalom. That's probably a good question for you, is how long you think you've been here in the city.
I'm gonna say, story wise, right off the top of my head, um, if I'm going the route of human component inside robot shell, his shell was merged with the human embryo component when he
Mm-hmm.
was around 3 years old, and
Okay.
he was delivered to a potential high-end buyer here on the station,
Yeah.
and there was a incident where they had plans for me, but the buyer was killed.
Okay.
So I never made it to my destination. I never became what they wanted me to be. So I was found by a dissident of the slums or lower end of this, and they thought that first they could sell me, then
Mhm.
realized I was either too hot, a commodity, or I wasn't worth any of the, basically bringing down on the space cops. So they're like, screw it. We can train this guy to be a worker.
Mhm.
He's a mechanical being. He's pre-programmable. We'll just set him to work in the mine, set him to work in the garage, and they'll just make money for us. Did that for basically my entire life, and right now, once I've gained enough credits or whatever to move out of the slums or buy my way out of whatever servitude that I was in, I found my way onto Hiron's garage, and that's where I'm
Yeah.
currently working today.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, likely your mechanical skills likely got you to this
Yeah,
job.
he's like
You've kind of
way too good to be a mechanic with all
Mhm.
his skills. I'm
Well,
like, but they
with your
don't know any better.
history,
Yeah,
you by this point, even before you were employed, you've already constructed your custom rig and kind of and gotten
yeah.
that installed. You've
Yep.
already developed your exocortex, so you got this AI basically in your
They
brain,
they
giving
know
you
to keep me away from any kind of computer things because I'll just hack it by happenstance, and it'll fuck up things, or I'll steal a bunch of credits. And they're like, no, 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 you're gonna be back next to the analog computers and spaceships and hard parts, and away from the computers because we don't want to deal with the space corpo cops. Fuck, because he's like, so they keep me away from that shit in the back area because
yeah.
I just pick up on that too fast. Like I'm Wi-Fi and I just fuck shit up.
Right. Well, and so, about 6 months ago, you were, your name got forwarded to Tyron here, and he gave you an offer. You're like, hey, come help me maintain ships and vehicles. We get tons of traffic through here. We specialize in smaller, like, personal shuttles for, traffic between Absalom and the Armada, which is like this fleet of like criminal vehicles basically parked outside Absalom's
Yep.
boundaries. There's a whole city of like ships and ships and like all sorts of crazy shit out there. So there's lots of traffic coming in and out of Absalom Station here, and
Like
you've basically been yeah.
I
Go
would say
ahead.
like
Sorry.
every weekend, I'm always bugging Tyron. It's like, dude, just get me within range of a parsec, and I can hack this freaking criminal casino barge, and we can be rich. And I'm like always trying to tell him, and he's all like, no, fuck you, just go back there and repair
Look, kid.
CV7 fucking ship
Look,
here.
kid.
I mean, fuck you. I don't want to
Look.
get in any kind of trouble around that shit. No, I ain't doing it. It ain't no get quick, scheme in this kind of universe. You just go back
Look,
there
kid,
and fix
all you have to
the
do is
booster.
keep your head upright for long enough. I've been in this business a long time. Yes, you could make a lot of money, but then you get the heat on you, and you don't want that. You want to play it smart, kid. Got it? Always thinking smart. That's who we are, And
That's
and
not
like
who I am, Dad. And he goes, runs over to the closet and he eats some oil.
so today, you've found yourself outside basically a 4-person shuttle, basically the modern or the sci-fi equivalent of a minivan. And there's this married couple that's bickering off to the side. They've introduced themselves as, let me just check their names here real quick. We got Bob and Carol Weathers, both humans. They kind of middle age, you know. One's got the kind of like, you know, the kind of like beer gut, you know. The Carol's a little bit, you know, a little bit dumpy, a little, but you know, she's got a little bit of sass to her, and they're quietly arguing while you're looking over their shuttle, basically. And as you're giving it kind of the once over, they're explaining that they're not sure exactly what happened. You know, things just kind of took a really bad turn, and you know, like the thrusters, they're just firing intermittently. I don't know what's going on. It must be a manufacturer defect. It absolutely has to be a manufacturer defect. The husband really just kind of Bob keeps, you know, reinforcing it's, you know, and Carol at this point just rolls her eyes, you know, sure, whatever, you know.
So, question:
Yeah.
are we in a sort of universe where every biological humanoid has like a chip in their brain, a connection to the internet, something that gives them
Most
a like
a regular
anything
comm
like
unit
that?
goes for like 4 credits, I think. So most people have a personal comm unit, you know, kind of like a little device either
Like,
in their ear or
like
like a cell phone, you
well, I'm
know,
saying like
that.
more like so security can say I can scan this person without doing facial. I'm like, no, I can scan their chip and I can see
Mhm.
this is all the information in their entire history. So
Right.
is that the kind of thing that exists in this universe or no?
Sure. I mean, there's computers. There's all
That's
sorts
what I'm
of
saying.
crazy.
Like, so anytime somebody else outside of my buffer zone, they walk in, and I'm like, ooh, new
Mhm.
data. So I'm like, they're talking about their mechanical issues, and I'm just scanning their entire goddamn history. And I'm like, huh. I'm like, okay,
um.
you're 57. This is where you work. This is how much is in your bank
All
accounts.
right.
This is how much
Hold on
debt
here.
you have. And I'm like,
Yeah. Give me a computers check. Actually.
yay! I can do a roll.
Yeah. See how
And
well you do.
First roll from grinder.
that's
18
yeah,
on an
but
8.
but
Jesus.
eight. Yeah, but that's an 18 because I get a plus.
So as they're kind of talking, you're pulling up their you know, kind of
I'm
like,
just
well,
skimming it. I'm just skimming it.
first it's your client. At first it's their, you know, client file within the gearbox here. Tyron's shop is called the gearbox. You're pulling up their file right now. And you do notice that they've been in here before on other related like damages that just don't know what happened. And
Yeah, some bit around scam here.
the notes are have some quotations around don't know what happened. So you're not 100% sure. You could do a sense motive check on them if you want to kind of get their general vibe.
I'm thinking either a sense motive or they have their ship in the garage, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's right there. It's right there, kind
So
of loaded up on like
can I do
kind of
just a
hovering
quick
up, and you're able to kind of take a look at the engines and everything.
yeah?
But
Can I
like
do a quick engineering check and see if they're calling
absolutely,
bullshit? Like there's no like
yeah, you can absolutely do.
self-inflicted damage, or they're just calling bullshit. Like there's just a plug in there, and if you just took this piece of plastic out, it's really there's no problem. They're trying to scam something, that kind of deal.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and give me an engineering check to kind of assess the damage.
Okay. My God, I was rolling like fucking garbage today. So well, three plus 9, so
There's
13.
some weird impact damage,
Mm,
but you're not 100% sure where it could have come from. It is definitely like sort of like blunt force has impacted like when what as you're kind of evaluating it, because you do have like a lot of experience with this
yeah,
stuff. So I'm not
diagnostics.
going to screw you because of your bad roll there
Oh yeah.
necessarily. But as you're looking this over, you're definitely like, okay, there's some major like blunt damage that has been applied to this vehicle. But you think what's going on is it damaged one of the control units, which is causing the thrusters just it like they can't fire continuously. So the vertical takeoff is definitely hampered a little bit. It's having to rely on a bit more like forward momentum
Okay.
to kind of properly go.
Do I know if Tyrant is basically in the front center customer service running the show?
He's
And I'm
checking up on a couple other clients, but there's also a Yasaki who's kind of like wrapping up with one of her jobs as well. That could
I just
that's
didn't want to
also
be stepping over my role as mechanic and being front face of the house. Normally it's
no,
customer service and then
you're
back of the
allowed
house. If I'm back of the house and I'm not allowed, I'll stay back here and do
you're
whatever.
you're allowed to absolutely work on the machines and also kind of like work with clients,
I have
but you're
horrible
like the
charisma.
role like where something went wrong, you're escalating it up immediately.
So
Like if
okay,
there's
so
a bad interaction.
front end
Yeah,
customer service.
yeah,
Like
and they
I'm the
close
tech.
out.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. 'Cause
Tyron or other employees definitely close out because yeah, you kind of have some issues with people for sure.
yeah, I mean, obviously trust issues and my charisma's 8. So I go in there. Do they want me interacting with the customers, or
Yeah,
how do we
she,
want to set the
she
scene?
no
How do
no
we want
she's
to?
they've definitely been talking to you this
Okay,
whole time as you're kind of giving it the initial kind of look over.
okay. Oh, so
So
I am
they're
interacting with
they're
them. Okay,
standing right there and just kind
perfect.
of explaining, and but they're not talking to you so much as
Yeah.
they're busy bickering with each other. And there's a lot of hostility, and you're not sure how to read that necessarily.
Uh,
It's very,
Not my
they're
problem. I don't
just
give a fuck.
very combative, and
Yeah,
these people, they're human shit. I don't know,
yeah. It's
you
fucking.
know.
God damn it. 0011100101.
So yeah, at this point, what you could do is like you kind of have an idea of what's the problem, so you could take a crack at fixing it right now. Um, what would you like to do?
Um, did they ever disclose beyond the we don't know what had happened? Like, why did they show up? Like, did they get it towed here, or
Yeah, well,
did they fly it
basically
here?
they got some assistance from like kind of the local docking authorities. There was a I don't know how they would do it
They
necessarily.
would drag it here with a
Yeah, there's like
scouter or
a
something like
towing beam.
that, or
Yeah, there's like a tractor beam or something
okay,
kind of
so
like
it's dead in the
help
water. They
kind
needed
of
me to
drift it
figure
in.
out. Okay,
Like it can definitely fly right now, but like if they had to like it's not ship worthy for Absalom streets by any means.
you
And
don't
some
want
of
to
the
fly to another planet. Got it. All
yeah.
right, all right. It's like, well, like okay, standard rate, 12 parsecs. It's gonna be about 12 to 13 so long. I'm throwing out numbers because I don't know what kind of credit system these guys have on here. You
Right,
tell
right.
me what do they call this in this system? What is money here in this?
Actually, you know what? Let's look that up. I actually don't
I'm
know
like, I don't
what
even know.
the like repair rates would be.
Yeah,
I wonder
because
if
I'm
they
like
even say
I
that.
was gonna just throw out some random like terminology, but I don't even know what is even proper these
Yeah,
days.
fuck it. We're
I
not
can
even
say
talking
gold.
numbers.
I said, you know
Yeah,
what?
it's credits. It's
Gold
credit. The
credits
currency of
credits.
the coin is credits, or the
I'm
currency of
not
the
gonna
realm
I'm
is
not
credits.
gonna quote him price. Because no mechanic quotes you price. They quote you how
No,
much
no,
time it is
no.
going to be, and
That's the
then they
Uh,
front of
come up
shop price.
after
You
that, and
just
that's
fix
how
the
the
much they tell
shit,
you how
bro.
much it costs.
the cost of repair ship is 10 UBP per 1 HP of damage and takes 5 hours. I don't know what that means. There you go.
I don't
But
know what
in
UP
this
means.
garage,
Probably
because we
materials.
are one a garage in the ghetto. I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah. So he's gonna talk him up. He's like, oh yeah, this is fine. Yeah, we could probably go ahead and take care of
Where
this.
does
This is no
Cadillac
problem.
where do you get this Cadillac
Like
inverter?
any bad
Sure.
like mechanic, it's like okay, but we had to replace this,
Oh
and we
yeah,
also
I mean
had
this
to
is wrong,
we had
and
to exchange your fluids because that shit isn't cheap,
he's
you know. And
actively
we
he's
sell you
actively
on the
yeah.
premium
Yep.
hydraulics on this
Yep.
because we could also do an upgrade package right here,
Yeah,
and
and he's
Yasaki's like
actively
over there, kind of like
he's,
gleefully
yeah,
going, "Yes, we could get you more
he's
money out of you."
actively unscrewing and unbuckling couplers and wires while he's doing this. He's like, yeah, this is wrong. And over here, I mean, this thing obviously isn't
Mhm.
supposed to be this direction. I mean, he's worked the game for the 6 months that he's trained underneath. He gets the system. He knows how to get extra credits out of
Now,
the
to
thing.
be fair,
So
Tyron
yeah.
does run a fairly reputable shop. He's earned a reputation for not screwing people actively, but they definitely know how to upsell for
Oh,
sure.
I'm at least getting 20 credits, or at least two, or whatever. Maybe there's a an additional 200 credits over what they probably should pay to have this fixed. Because
Absolutely.
I will take that and then I will fix it because I'm doing all the legwork. Plus, I'll split it with the boss, so I get
Yeah.
100 credits. So yeah,
You'll get some cash out of it for
yeah,
sure. You
yeah.
know, you get paid pretty decently here. I mean, not like huge money.
Decent.
It's not
I
real
live in
estate,
the ghetto.
but
I will.
you can make a good living.
I'm
You know.
so far under pay grade that I'm happy to
Hmm.
get whatever the fuck that I get.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
yeah, would you like to make a repair check, or would you like to,
Um.
or how would you like to approach this?
Well, I mean, most of my stuff is computers. I don't.
Hmm.
I don't.
You do have your
I don't.
engineering.
I don't see. Yeah, I don't see a repair check. Is that
Yeah,
engineering?
and that'd be engineering for sure.
Oh, sorry.
100%
Sorry. Okay.
would absolutely
Um.
fall under that.
Situation. I
So if
don't
you want to
add.
make a roll on
I
that,
don't. I see the. I click on it and I see the formula and I see the situational bonus. I don't think
yeah,
there's any additional bonuses normally, unless
I
they
don't.
automatically get added in.
They
Let's just
can,
double.
yeah.
I
So
mean, you're getting a bonus for your bypass
that's
ability.
the thing. It's already added to it. I mean, when
Yep.
I roll, I would love to be like D&D Beyond, where it would take my skill rank percentage mod and add it to the total, but it doesn't do that. So I've just been adding it manually, which I guess is
No,
just how it
I
naturally
think it automatically is
does
plugging that
not.
in here.
Does not.
It's
It's hmm,
Oh wait.
20 plus
the
9.
formula says
Okay.
completely.
No, I didn't have the chat window open, so I just saw the dice roll. I didn't see the addition part in the chat window. So yeah, so I got 28 on that. So there you go.
Oh yeah. So as you're going through, you also notice that they haven't been doing their regular maintenance on their vehicle
And your
Shocking.
as well.
inspection
You know,
stickers out.
and
Yeah, right.
as you're getting
Headlight.
deep in there, you're pretty certain what his cause is. With that 28 roll, I'm definitely going to say what you're able to kind of identify the cause of the damage, and you're pretty sure what happened is they might have not been paying attention when they were driving and may have accidentally rammed into someone. It looks really like they just kind of like
Yeah.
bumped someone and kind of
These are the
bumper
people that
crashed.
like hit somebody when they're drunk, and then like in 2 weeks later they're like, "Shit, I need to fix the
Shit,
dam."
what's
So
the
I will
damage
take it.
here?
Yeah, I need
Yeah,
to take the dam. I need to take it to a repair shop, and they're like, "I don't know how that I got that." It's like we know exactly how you got that. You got drunk,
right.
you hit something,
And
a car or a spaceport, and then now you want us to repair the damage so no one notices. I
Flecks
get
of
you.
paint.
That's why you.
Flecks of
That's
paint
why you
still on.
come. That's why you come to us and not a
mhm.
reputable shop on on Mako planet and get your shit fixed over there.
There's like
Right.
flecks of paint on like the other from the other like
There's
spaceship.
Bondo everywhere. Oh yeah. Okay,
But
cool.
you basically kind of like pull out some of your tools and apply some like reconstructive nanites to the machine to the damage, or the damaged area. It begins to kind
Space
of
Bondo.
deal with like the impact damage while you start working more delicately like with your custom rig tools. Start working on that control unit and kind of get
Yep.
it kind of
Yep.
back to wiring it back up and everything like that. You give it a test, start checking all the other systems. It seems like they're fine. It's like last year's model of a ship. It's not so bad. But yeah, you put everything together in like record time. And Bob and Carol seem really impressed with like just how efficient you are.
Love Bob and Carol.
They're they have stopped arguing for a moment, and Carol's kind of, you just go, thank you, young man, I really appreciate this, trying to butter you up and everything, just really, really sweet. So you finish up their job, and as they're wrapping up, the Yasaki, who's name did I give that fucking Yasaki? Hold on here. Still collecting all this shit.
Yo. Oh.
Antsy. That's what I called her. Antsy.
Hello.
She kind of wraps up with her job and comes over and kind of takes a look. Nice, nice. Good job, good job. How are you feeling today, Ren?
I can't complain.
Can't
Everything's within
complain.
compliance.
Oh yeah, compliance. Right. I forgot you don't have a personality. I keep forgetting these things. Tyron wanted to speak with you a little bit later. I think he might have a special job for you or something. He was talking like there's something going on. I don't know. I'll have to talk to him.
All right, as long as it's worth credits.
Mm-hmm. Well, and so as Tyron kind of finishes up his deal, he kind of as he's finishing up and closes out your very pleased clients who have included a $100 credit bonus to you on top of your work, or they gave a little extra tip, and Tyron has forwarded that tip over to your account, so you can put 100 credits on your character sheet for a job well done. But
Would I actually? Let's say this. Let's be honest. Would I get all of it, or do I only get 50 credits because
no,
time's gonna?
you'll get the 100. You'll get the 100.
Oh,
I
okay.
said
So
what I said. Yep, he'd forwards it on. A little extra onto your paycheck for really handling them well and not having to escalate it up, right? But
I didn't even have to scam them. Apparently,
but
you all right there, Phil? You okay?
Tyron, he's chilling.
Who,
He's
me?
straight chilling.
So you just nod off. I'm like, oh, you all right?
But Tyron pulls you into his office, and he's
Okay.
like, "So sorry. So, you, how do you feel about your time here, last 6 months? Do you,
That's
do you
your
feel
review.
fulfilled?"
I mean, to be honest with you, Tyler, it is. It's fine. You know my you know my feelings about the big score. I mean, we're so close. We're only like a parsec and a half away from all of these pleasure cruises, these casino cruises. I could you know my skill set. I could be within like a half a parsec, and I could hack into the system, and we could be rich tomorrow. You got me fixing hogs in the back for mom and pop Joe Smo. I don't know. Why do you think I'm
Dude,
feeling? I mean,
that's the
fine.
problem. Look, that's the problem with you damn kids. You're always looking for the next score. You're
Kids,
always looking
I'm
for the good
30
pay.
years old. I've been on the station for 30 years, toiling, and I'm done with it. I could keep. You're right. I could keep doing this for another 60, 100 cycles. It's fine. I could do it, but
You
you're
want
asking me
more.
how I'm
You
doing. I
want
would like more. I would. Hell, at some point I would like to own a shop like this or do something
more.
else, but I can't be doing it here being a grease monkey
Look,
or whatever
you're
monkey equivalent in this
you
universe, like a monk
are
kind of.
one of my best mechanics, and I would hate to lose you.
Yeah, but you
That
know I
being
do so much
said,
more than a mechanic.
I have been asked to present an opportunity to you.
I'm
And
listening.
he slides over a card, and the card reads Rufus Thistlespring. And it looks like there's a cross out. It's an old fashioned paper card, hard
They have
stock.
paper cards. Where do they have
Mhm.
trees here?
Yeah, you're well. I mean, there are definitely gardens within like
Okay, okay, that
the
is
Eye
impressive.
of Absalom. There's also all sort like this station has all sorts of different like climates and
Okay,
like climate
I mean,
controlled areas that definitely.
is this
So
card
parks are definitely a thing on Absalom. So
sure? But like, is this pressed between laminate? Because I'm pretty sure anything paper outside of the park is highly regulated.
it's a hard stock business card. It looks
Wow,
very old fashioned.
I could sell
It's
this for 100
it's
credits.
it the print on it for the title reads Absalom Security Forces, but it's been hand crossed out with
Hmm.
a pen, and now it says Investigator Mercenary Services.
He's
And
gonna analyze that with his eyes real fast. It's like, who the fuck uses ink?
exactly.
Who crossed out a card and wrote in different qualifications? And he's like, who the fuck did you get this from?
So last week you worked on a small hovercraft
I
from a
remember
half.
the glider. Oh yeah, the G78-5.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
he
it's
had the
fucking
he
nice
had
one.
the
Okay.
curly
Yeah.
hair, a little
Yeah.
bit smug. He
Okay.
apparently he's a
Asshole.
contact.
But
He's a
yes. Okay.
contact of mine for a long time. Yeah, he's a bit of a dick sometimes.
Okay. Okay.
But he's been a contact of mine in the ASF for a long time, and apparently he's retiring. And he's looking for some qualified individuals who are willing to get themselves get willing to operate a little bit in the shadows. And he wanted me to provide a couple of potential recruits, and I thought you might be interested because you keep talking about
I,
the big score.
um. Sorry, I was just listening to
Oh no, you're fine.
go on. Missy go on and on.
Oh, okay.
Um.
Bye.
It's
You know,
all
you're
good.
gonna say he's like so. Talent. I appreciate you passing this along. Uh, you know my policy. I don't do wet work. I ain't gonna go out and be like any of those murder machines they have over there. Those T180s, T1000s.
Mm-hmm.
But if this is a honest, dishonest work, or I'm just gonna be ripping off some rich corpo folks, you know I'm on board for that. So if this is what that is,
I don't
I
know
mean,
what he has in mind necessarily. That may be a question you have to ask him. And I honestly, like,
did he hit?
he's
Did he hit?
always done me decent,
Okay.
but I don't know if the work he's going to get into is good or not. I just wanted to present you the opportunity.
So did he preface the job saying, "Oh, an easy smash and grab or an easy hack and slack," you know,
He
anything like
said
that?
a long-term employment of some
Okay.
kind, different jobs.
I
Um,
I
but
mean,
he was looking for unique individuals who operate independently
I mean,
and had certain sets of skills that could, handle infiltration or support or a variety of different tasks. It sounds like a mercenary outfit is basically what he's
sure.
for.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what that's the information that I think I have, but I don't know that for certain.
I mean, we all know the rules that are going on with my assignment to the shop.
Mhm.
I still owe
And
you probably 2,387.69999999 credits still left on my contract. So you tell me whether or not is he going to wipe off my debt with you so that I can go work for him? Because I don't want to leave this store and then have you call the corpos on me right when I walk out the door.
I don't know where you're getting that number. I've already counted our debt solid. You're
If
in
I'm
here with
good, man,
me.
I'm cool. I'm asking you as a friend. So if I still owe you, if I don't owe you any more on my contract, well then great. I thought I
He
still had
he reaches
2,600 credits.
over and puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "Ren, you are always going to be welcome here, but
I
you are
appreciate
not
that, man.
bound here. You are not bound here by any means or measure. You
Yeah,
do
but
what you want.
we both work in the system, Tyron. I understand. I mean, but when I
Look,
was when I was sold to you, basically, let's be honest, I was sold to you to this shop I could pay off and gain my freedom after I paid you back a set amount of credits for my purchase. I thought I still had enough left. If he paid me off and he's willing to take me on and you're free and clear, I just want to make sure that you are good because you've treated me right these last 6 months.
look, you're
I just want
always
to make sure
welcome
you're
back
good.
here. You always
Okay?
have a job with me. If
Okay.
you want to pursue this, that's up to you. But
Well,
you
shit,
you
yeah, you
also
know I'm
can
gonna
you can
bounce out
also
of here.
do
Come
both
on, man.
too. I am perfectly okay with you working double. If you want to keep
Oh
working
yeah,
here, you can.
no, that's what I'm saying. Is like if you're okay with me leaving because he's bought you out, he's bought out the rest of my contract. Well, then I'm good. I just want to
No,
make
I'm
sure that
just
you're
giving you
taken
the
care
option.
of.
No,
Okay,
we're fine. I
all right.
will regret. Don't get me wrong, but
How about how about
I also see that eventually I'm going to lose you anyway to something.
how about this
I
time?
would.
When I go and make it big on this job, and I go and I hope to God that this comes out and it spawns better things for all of us. I'll come back and I'll set you up right because you've treated me right more than almost 99.876 people on this station.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Now, I mean, if you find any, more androids for the cause,
Oh
and
shit!
he,
I
and
will
he,
send
and he
somebody
turns,
back your way
and
the
then he
second
turns
I
on
got.
the radio, and it's like this, like I don't know what it is. It's like it'd be like this
Deep
hard
robots, 100%.
right wing
Come on down.
sort of like he. So one thing you know about Tyron is he's also got connections with the Android Abolitionist Front, which is sort of like a pro Android rights group, right?
Okay, I was about to say, I'm like
Or
abolitionist. I'm like, okay,
a
that's
little
perfect.
bit more on the like they're a little bit extreme in their rights, and he is a staunch supporter of them.
Okay.
So, like one of the things in his office all the time is constant like Android radio kind of sources, and like lots of Android propaganda, and he kind of
Android NPR. All right.
yeah yeah, basically the Rush Limbaugh of androids, right?
Right. Okay, fair enough.
But he flicks that on, and he's just like, you do what you need to do, but I've always got your back. Got
I
us
appreciate that.
androids got to look out for each other.
I agree. I agree. Don't worry. I'll raise up the cost. But
So then he brings up a terminal and starts going through the accounts, and set kind of goes back to work, but with the understanding that or we can kind of try, hopefully leaving you with the understanding that you're welcome to do what you like, but you're always welcome there. So you leave his office, and it's about the end of your shift, and the you it, do you reach out to Rufus to set up kind of an interview with him?
um,
Would you do that immediately, or would you go home, think about
yeah,
it?
I mean,
What
he,
would be your approach?
he's a android. He's a mechanical being, so
Mhm.
he's going to finish off his shift, and probably while he's talking to Tylen, probably calling Rufus and sending him a communication to him. He's like, "Oh yeah, yeah." Right when he said "you're good," I'm
Mhm.
like, and the second that is, I was like, "Yeah, I'm interested." So what do you got going on there? So yeah, go ahead and shoot me back a holotext, and I'll go ahead and
Yeah.
next available
So
time
yeah, he
cycle. I'll
he
be ready.
basically is like, yeah, I'd like, you get a message back basically going, yeah, I'd love to meet with you. He gives you an address or somewhere in the ring, and you do a quick lookup. It looks like actually, let's have you roll on that one
He's
too.
like pulling up schematics. He's like, I know
Yeah,
exactly what you want me to meet.
because undoubtedly you're the kind of
Uh
nosy
huh.
person to be
Uh
like,
huh.
what am I getting into?
Yeah. Where
So
where are
let's
the exits? Where are the cameras? Yeah, I'm like, all right.
yeah, let's have you give me perception isn't quite it. Let's do a computers check on that one for the searching and kind of bringing up schematics and shit. Damn.
That's a 27, sir.
Jesus, you're rolling hot today.
I have a +10 computer.
Yeah, so yeah, you get home. I don't know where your home is. Probably some like
Never below
studio
11.
apartment
It's a
somewhere.
closet in the back of the shop, and he just turns around. It's
Come
like,
on, Bender.
home.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, I like
Come on,
that. I like
Bender.
the idea that you'd be living
I
in
live
the
in the
shop somewhere.
shop. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm owned by that. Until a couple seconds ago, I was owned
Mhm.
by the shop and be indentured servitude. So I lived in the back of the shop in a
Well,
little
there's a
closet.
closet behind me, I guess. If I
Yeah,
have to open it up.
like Futurama. I was like, all right, there's a closet back. If you want to use it,
Right.
whatever.
All right. So, yeah, with a 27, you're able to pull up all sorts of shit. First, you look up Rufus and his sort of like
What?
history, and you're able to basically kind of see that he has this fairly well storied career in the ASF. He started off as a kind of rank and file officer of the ASF, Absalom Security Forces, just to clarify. And he's kind of he rose through the ranks real quick, a lot of high profile arrests, and then he made detective pretty quickly, um, and then got tasked with all sorts of like corporate investigations, right? Kind of like trying to look into to white collar crime and such like that. And he's served on a couple of task forces, and so he has this really storied career, right? But um, within the last year, like no more high profile arrests, and shortly goes into retirement and starts going into the private sector. And there's not many records after that point. So that's his public record. I mean, you could tell there's a couple things that have been struck
And
from
dig
it.
deeper with a
Yeah.
27 and
Yeah.
digging deeper.
Yeah,
All right.
like you basically what you're able to get is that how do I phrase this? He has the current leadership in Absalom Station is there's an office called the Primex, right? That's kind of the prime executive, right? Or, you know, that has been elected into a position of power. Apparently, he's worked with them on something,
Okay.
some sort of either a scheme to get her into power, the current Primex into power, or there's something going on, something like dark. I mean, all you're able to find is there's a connection to him and Primex Mellow Cruz's office. And that big high profile person. The Absalom's leadership is made up of the Syndics Guild, which is sort of like, elected officials from different regions of Absalom, different neighborhoods. And a lot of them are controlled by corporate interests. There's, it's basically the United States Senate, right?
Yeah, shocking.
It's
Yeah, I
it's a
know. Yeah,
lot of
corporate control.
dealing and weird shit going on all the time, and yeah. So that's what you're able to dig up on him. The location you're going to was condemned for about a year ago, and was originally held. There was a partnership between two corporations on some project, and then some bad shit came out. Basically, there there was some pharmaceutical trafficking that was operating out of this building. Also, some weird lab shit in the lower levels. And then they found a whole series of tunnels that go down into the spikes of Absalom, and the entire building basically kind of got sealed off and condemned for a while. How it ends up it opened up now, you're not sure, but yeah, it's just a little building off in a ring that kind of got closed down for about a year.
Okay.
But Rufus sets up an appointment with you for the next day, kind of towards the evening, like, 4 or 5, like Absalom runs on kind of like a artificial day-night cycle that matches what the original planet was, which is basically an Earth schedule for our purposes,
Right.
So it's like towards the end of the workday, kind of he picks that time and asks if that's okay, kind of sets you up with time to go visit tomorrow. And that's where we'll cut off.
I was about to say, I'm like,
there with you.
good enough for me. I've talked enough. Yeah, we're good. Let's bring some of these people out of here into it.
Right.
And get perfect time to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a quick drink here, and then we're gonna get to sleep.
Just,
Thank you for being patient, Stella.
yeah, right. Appreciate that. Thank you.
All good. Since you were saying that my character's life might be on the line, I figured that you'd probably make mine last.
Yeah, well, I don't know what's going to happen. The dice could betray you, so we shall see.
We'll see.
Give me 1 second to refill my drink, and I'll be right back.
No, I'm pretty certain we could work something out, Flame.
For what? Sorry.
Yeah.
No, Flame is asking for some help with backstory stuff.
Oh, okay.
So,
I'm straight doo-doo water at backstories.
She's a pop star. She's a fallen
Well,
pop
like,
star? No, you're fine, baby.
I don't know. It like the hard part is like all the ideas that I'm having for what I want to do as a backstory. I don't know if I could like portray it well.
Okay, Elon. I just don't know if I could figure out how to explain it to people. No, I'm just kidding. I just found it funny. Ah.
I already have something right off the top of my head.
What's that?
Do you want me to say it aloud for everybody to hear, or do you want me to DM you?
It doesn't
It
matter.
depends on if you want to make it a surprise or not.
Yeah.
You say you want me to DM it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see.
Hope you don't die in the first 10 minutes.
Let's hope not.
Ah, it should have been an hour. Still. Didn't feel that long. Didn't feel like an hour. I felt bad because Halo starts and I'm like, no, and then Ren gets his all good stuff, so it's good. I put that.
Yeah. Everything okay so far?
Yeah, good. Good job, my friend.
Okay. All right. So, let's see, is that going to load? All right. So, now we move away from Little Akaton. And now we go towards different little neighborhood in the ring.
Real quick, I got more on that flame, but I'll touch on that later. Sorry, go
Oh,
ahead.
shit.
No, you're good. You're good.
He was DMing him
Okay.
for a backstory idea.
Gotcha. I'll need to read all your chat later. I haven't been paying attention to
Oh,
any of
it's
that
gonna make
stuff
any
right now.
ain't gonna make any fucking sense. Context gonna be like completely lost. But all my
Mm-hmm.
bullshit.
I see Ren's post. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Good job with that. I like that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said Ren.
Yeah, that was my first thought when I thought of the name
Yeah, that's
too.
fine, man. You drink.
So yeah,
Drink.
we kind
Roger's
of
here.
go from like the trashy sector of Absalom. We move away from Little Akaton, where and I didn't even get to mention like all the food stalls and all the shady businesses that lie within the Arms, which is where Little Akaton is located. But all the Arms are filled with docks and everything like that. But instead, the Ring is more of a middle class neighborhood. There's all sorts of, or neighborhoods, I should say, because it extends a huge part of the station itself. Um, a lot of high rise, like living quarters for families and professionals, shopping districts. There's public transit that rushes through, and all these little like all these streets and neighborhoods. And we're descending now on one particular high rise down a mostly hidden corridor, up a flight of stairs, back into the back of a safe house apartment. And that's where we find Vincent. Does everyone see the map?
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, Vincent, you've kind of made your way up this back hall that's normally reserved for quick exits and back door kind of the back way out of this Um, It's secured behind a series of doors, which your helper has compromised the security of this particular building, and has kind of left the back door open for you, as it were. And so you make it up to these stairs, and you're outside a particular suite. You and Sheena had, Sheena first approached you on this one. She had identified a particular job. Let me pull up my notes here real quick here. So she had identified a particular payload of data that was in transit being handled by a gang called the Crimson Razors. They've done work for the Hypalon Group, which is a kind of a disreputable corporation at this point. They've had a couple of major public L's. They're involved in several industries, but one of them is arms trafficking and data collection and reselling data to interested providers, right? And so there's some particularly high valuable data that is going to be handed off here the next day or two, and they've tucked it away at this little safe house. And a couple of the Crimson Razors right now are kind of, laying low after a particular smash and grab where they acquired this stuff to begin with. So they're just holding up right now. And maybe a little diversion was employed. Maybe there's a little bit of planning that went into this. But that plan leads you right now to the back door where there's some dudes in there. And the door's locked. And then you hear kind of this voice in your head. It's not a comm unit necessarily. It's just a little telepathic message in your head. Like, okay, I'm going to open up the door now. And let's see what she rolls. And door slides open.
Great job as always, Sonny.
You are far too kind. Down the hall and to the right, or to the left, I think someone's watching TV in there. I think they're watching a big fight tonight.
Down the hall and to the left.
Down the hall and to the left. But the room next to it, I think, is where we're looking for. But you'll have to be careful. I know there's a couple guys in here.
The room next to it?
Yeah, one of the adjacent rooms there. You'll have to see the layout. The layouts changed a couple times in the last. They keep refiling room layouts. They're required to every a couple months. But a lot of these safe houses, they get reconfigured for different uses all the time. It's hard to keep up with that.
I see. Now, out of character, what room is it that she's said the one on the left, right?
She's saying down the hall and to the left.
Oh, down the hall.
Specifically, kind
so
of like
there.
Around this area.
Okay, I see. All right.
So, and before we get too far into like movement or anything, just with the glitches with Foundry that have come up with since the update, I'm going to handle token movement. So you just ping to me where you'd like to go and what you'd like to do, and I'll handle the movement of the token itself. Okay. Sorry, it's just how it is right now.
That's fine.
It'll get fixed in a week or two.
First off, so the door it's unlocked, but is it open? Do I have to?
It's unlocked and right now open. So, like the shadows here, if we'll step in a little bit. Right now, you're in the shadows of a unlit hallway.
Okay,
right along
I'm
here.
just making sure.
But But then up ahead, you can kind of see some lights off in the corner over here. Can't see it over here quite yet, but there's definitely a light source down here. Now,
Quick
you
question.
as you're
Go ahead.
stepping in, you'll also note that to your left there's a door, to your right there's a door, and then there's two sets of doors over here and here as well.
Okay, so quick question.
Here as well.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So quick question. For one, are there any cameras anywhere in this interior?
There are, but they've been disabled.
Oh, that's right.
You have she whispers in your head, you have 2 minutes.
So, I want to. What I want.
Actually 3 minutes,
Where,
sorry.
where are the cameras that I can see?
You can see one right over here. Yeah, that one just right there right now. It does that traditional swivel thing where it's focused over here, then it swivels over here, and then back and forth. But right now it's just dead.
Hey, Sunshine.
Yeah.
Can you see about repurposing this camera right here? So you have it disabled, but can you view through it and keep an eye on them?
You let's see, how do we do this? Oh, I know how we can do this. Should be able to see it now. Your mind, you get this image in your head, and it's just an empty room. It looks like a little side room. There's a little chair there, a couple of little, just a little decoration. It just looks like a little side kind of chill room. You do see a window that kind of stretches out to an alleyway behind this high-rise building. That kind of looks out into a kind of starry city sky, or cityscape. That point.
Okay, so then there's nobody in that room.
No one in there, it looks like.
Okay, so Vincent is going to. Oh, right, I need to ping it for you. He's going to take a step right here.
Doop.
And going to just examine this door right here.
You go ahead and roll me a perception, actually.
Sure. Let me see. Perception. Oh, gee. That's great. Oh, that's not bad. That's
pretty good. Okay, so with that 19, you don't hear anything in this room. However, behind you, you think you hear either heavy breathing, possibly snoring.
okay.
Not
Which of
sexy.
the doors? Is there? You said there was a door right here.
Yep, there is a door right there.
So,
There's not an
okay.
icon for it, looks like, but
And I don't have the exact location in the house of what I'm looking for. Don't. There's no way.
not quite. She's indicated to you that somewhere in the middle of this area. So kind of somewhere in the kind of the middle area, like either here or here, or could be even further.
Okay.
You're not 100% sure. You just know. Yeah. Oh, geez. Did I open something?
No, it was dark. I just saw that dark.
Son of a bitch. Shame on you, you motherfucker. You're muted too, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was seeing if I
All
could
right.
push it. I saw an icon.
Okay, so
You can,
Vincent,
as it turns out.
So is this door open? Because it doesn't look like an actual door from right here.
It is closed right now.
Okay.
Do you want to crack it open?
You know what? Sure.
All right, so the door opens.
Roll a new character.
And well, should we get? No, he's not got a chance. Basically, if you step back there and take a quick look in here, can't really see all that much, but I'll give you a little view. Let me see if I can do this right. Yeah, we'll just tune it down real low and see how that works. Oh, that's right.
Super low.
But so this is in the dark, right? But what you can see basically is there's a punk who is sleeping in this room. He's snoring away peacefully, not paying attention to the world at all.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
Is there a weapon nearby near that person? Can I tell?
On this end, give me one more perception roll.
I shouldn't have said can I tell. Oh boy, let's go.
You can't tell. It's too
Good
dark
by
in the room
dice.
right now. Do you have any like low level vision or low light vision or anything like that?
Actually, I'm not sure.
Let's take a look
Let me
at your
see.
character. You are human. You are feather light.
No, I can't.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, you're it's in the dark. You can't really tell too much. I mean, just based on what you know about these guys, probably got some weapons somewhere around there. But you'd have to get a little bit closer to be able to tell for sure.
Dice, don't fail me. I'm gonna attempt to sneak a little bit closer, just one square right here.
Okay.
Let me see.
Yep. He's pretty far out, so you probably have a chance, or definitely seems to be conked out. So as long as you don't bomb, you'll probably be okay.
Stealth.
Yep.
No, he'll be fine.
Oh, that was close to a 5 there, buddy.
Oh,
yeah. With
27.
with a 27, you're able to absolutely get a little bit closer in. I'm going to turn on the light just so you can kind of see what's going on in there. But this is in the dark. Just keep that in mind. So there is a door over here, but you hear a whisper. That one's hard locked.
Okay. But the question I had asked earlier about the weapon, is there one?
Oh yeah, there is a. Let's see what I gave him. There's a semi-automatic pistol, a tactical one, sitting on the counter space there.
I mean, she's talking in my mind. Can I think and say that? And okay, so that's
she's got a telepathic connection to you for sure.
So then I said,
Sheena's in your head.
So I tell her telepathically, "Hey, Sonny, because can you jam this weapon right here in front of me?"
You see, like from your bracelet,
Mm-hmm.
like a little purple hologram figure kind of appears, and she's sitting like in a chair, in a computer chair, with her knees bunched up and kind of her arms wrapped around her knees, and she's kind of like, you can see her like typing away, kind of a, and she makes an attempt. Computer. You this will work. She kind of there's a moment, and you kind of see this light on the semi-automatic pistol there go from like a green, kind of like a ready state, to red, like inoperative, or a like there's a mechanical problem on the status light of the weapon.
Okay, she said, "How many minutes did I have?"
3 minutes, and you haven't taken too awful long here. This has been, I'd say, like 18 seconds so far.
Okay, so with that, he's going to come back out into the hallway.
With that check, you're fine. Absolutely. Gonna head down the hallway then?
Yeah, back down the hallway to this next room on the left.
Okay. And you want to pop that one open?
Yeah, as lightly as possible. Yep.
Nice and quiet.
And you lean in, and it appears to be a bathroom.
Hmm.
I dare you to jerk off.
He closes the door
Pussy.
and then slightly edges over here to the corner and then peers to
getting
the
there.
Yeah.
inside.
You lean over and kind of see the closed door. You can hear some noise over here. Sounds like I'll give that one to you for free. It's just it sounds like there's definitely like a show going on here or something like that, like some sort of broadcast of some kind is happening.
And
But you can't hear like
Ooh. What's
if
that?
there's people in there or whatever. It's just the noise right now.
Oh.
okay, and before Vincent makes a move, he's going to peer around to see what he can see from the skylight, or not the skylight, excuse me, the window. The window. Jesus.
Okay.
See like if there's anything to worry about. Not moving to the window. He was going to stay right over here.
Yeah. Just as you
where he
okay,
was.
so, yeah, from this angle, all you can see is like there's another high rise like over like here-ish, across the way. And as if you did approach, and you're fine because nothing's around here right now, but you'd basically look down and kind of see a look down into an alley down there, several stories down. Several stories down.
Okay. Okay, so I want Vincent to come up here and then try to take a peek inside.
See a blue light emanating from a television screen, it looks like, across the way. And sitting on a couch is another goon. He's awake, but he seems kind of lazily watching. There's kind of this combative arena show that's going on right now. There's two armed like soldiers, each in kind of like battle armor, one with swords, one other with like a couple like long like batons basically, and they're just going at it like martial arts kind of demonstration. Crowds going wild. He seems kind of lazily interested in it, but he's like half dozing, half not. He's just kind of he's very chill and sedate for the most part. Looks like
So
across the way there's another door over there, and give me another perception check.
okay. $10.
You think it's hard to hear over the audio of the show that's emanating from here. You think you can occasionally make out like a voice or two coming from here, though.
Okay. From where I am, can I peek in and see if there are any cameras in there?
With a 10, you can't make out any. But they should, if Sheena's correct, they should be deactivated right now.
I was wanting to get her to take control of another one.
What was that? Sorry.
I said I was wanting to get her to take control of another one.
Gotcha. Let's see how well she does.
Six.
16.
Yeah.
16.
She seems to be, she's trying, but you kind of hear these little noises of frustration from, kind of coming from her in that moment.
That's all right. We'll figure it out. So
Stupid antiquated security. These fucking idiots. Goddamn. Why don't we just modernize this? It could be done so much fucking. And it's just kind of just this chain, or like this uninterrupted stream of like someone working hard on something, but not. They're talking, but it's not at you anymore.
It's all right, Sonny. It's all right. So,
All right. What's your play?
so I want him to move here. I want to have him
Okay.
move there to peek in and see what's on the other side of the. Not like all the way in, but was like pressed up against.
Yeah. I'm placing you here so you can
Okay.
see the full room.
Okay.
But yeah, it's understood you're kind of in the doorway right there. So looking out through the window, it looks like there's kind of like a landing, kind of outside little porch kind of deal, you know. Looks like through there, like you can see like lights underneath this door over here. It looks like it's well lit, whatever's going on in here. If you were to guess, there might be a kitchen or something over there. And you definitely, as you stepped in, you can hear definitely there's some noise coming from there for sure.
So, is there anything over here, electronic or anything that can
You
make
definitely
noise?
can spot a camera right in this corner right here. It's kind of doing that lazy back and forth kind of motion.
Is there anything else other than the camera around in that area?
Other than the holographic screen up there, you see this door over here.
Mm-hmm.
There's no light in there right now.
Okay.
What's the ping command?
If you just do a long press or long click. Yep.
Right click or left?
Grandy's
Oh,
got it.
that's not doing it for me. Left click or right
Left click. Left click, hold.
I'm doing it.
Hmm.
I'm holding it in.
You have to be on the token controls.
Oh, let's see.
That top little person button on the left hand side.
I got it.
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
I got it.
So, I'm going to take a step forward right here along the wall.
I will call for stealth checks going any further in.
That's fine.
You
see.
will have. I'm going to give you a +2 situational bonus because of the low light in here, though.
Okay.
And the noise.
So stealth.
I'll add 2 the result in our heads. 15. That was the DC I was hoping for. So you are just barely able to creep along this wall as far as you like.
I was just wanting to go right here to get
Yeah.
closer to see what's right here.
Yeah, just another corner. Nothing in there. But that check will allow you to advance to the door if you want.
Oh, the plan was to. There's nothing for it. Vincent's gonna come right back over here, and hopefully, hey Sonny, I got another one for you.
Another camera?
Yeah, but this time I don't want you to take control of it. I want you to do whatever you can to pull attention, to cause attention, to distract them.
Distraction. Hold on. And you get a brief flash. Actually, we'll give her one more check.
Specifically, to clarify, out of character, to clarify, what I'm trying to do is to specifically have her do something with that camera to draw attention. That's just wanting to make sure to clarify on that.
Gotcha.
So that way his attention will be drawn that way.
Okay. So the camera's, not on right now. It's just kind of doing that lazy slide back and forth. And it kind of stops and focuses right on him. And then a red light starts flashing. And it's a little brighter and a little brighter. And then he eventually is like, what the fuck? Kind of gets up and he starts walking over and like, what the fuck is going on with this fucking thing?
As he's doing that, gonna stealth to that door over here.
All right. I'll let you have that one just because of the distraction for right now. Okay.
Okay. So, I want to peer. I guess go out to peer through this door real quick as fast as I can. See what I can see from around in here.
Gotcha. It
While
looks like
his-
just like an outside landing. Yeah.
Is there anything to the left that I can peer around, like crane my neck around and look?
You look out, and out here there's like, kind of over here there's like a little like, I don't know, like a chillin' chair. There, it looks like there's some drug paraphernalia on it. A little mini table over there. Little pipe. There's a couple little things around. There's a can of beer that's half.
8-ball.
Yeah,
How you do?
I mean, is like, can I see any windows, any other openings along the wall, any other like places like underneath windows? Like a window, not a window sill, but like
Okay.
like a little balcony type area or anything like that.
So if you look kind of here, there's like a little lip, right? Kind of like right, like
I can't see
here.
that far. I can't see that far.
Yeah, what you'd have to do is you'd have to kind of like grip the wall and lean over to really get a look. And in order to really pull it off, I would ask for. I would call for an acrobatics check. Now, there's a risk with that, obviously. It could definitely get a look over there, but yeah. As you're kind of like evaluating for that second, he still seems focused on the corner here, but he's beginning to he's kind of looking at it, and you don't think you have much more time right now.
Since I don't have any other choice, I'm gonna walk over here to this door and peer inside.
You look in, and it looks like there's a dude over here who is making some food. Looks like they're kind of putting together some sort of like, you can't really tell from here, but there's one dude that's cooking, and then if you lean around the corner real quick, it looks like there's a dude on a terminal, just kind of like fucking around. He's got these like VR goggles or some shit, just kind of glasses gone, and he's just kind of.
So he can't see shit.
He can't see shit right now, but you're not sure exactly what he's doing. You could do a sense motive from here if you want to kind of evaluate what he's doing.
Hey, Stel.
Sure. Yeah.
Just so you know, when he was pointing earlier, hold on. He was talking about this area. There is a door over there, so you know. Not the metagame, but
yeah, I know. But
okay.
From what I don't like. Yeah, I didn't want to go through there. I didn't want to go through there because that's where it seemed the busiest.
I would
So
not go.
I wanted to go around the back way.
No, the busyness was from the kitchen. I don't think there's anything really going on in that room. We didn't check that one.
Just to clarify, yeah, the noise that I was indicating was coming from here.
Oh, well, shit.
Sorry.
And I would not be next to somebody.
I communicated that.
I would not be next to someone who could just look to the right. That's me, though.
This is definitely a ballsy move.
This is sketchy. It's sketchy.
Well, my question is, what is this? What is this right here? Because that depends on what I'm going to do. Is that a counter?
That's a counter. Yep.
So Vincent is going to
you can kind of see like a stove here and shit. This is kind of like a modern apartment, basically. There's definitely some sci-fi conveniences, but it absolutely is just a modern apartment. This place.
He's going to crouch down and get behind this counter right here.
Okay.
Then he's going.
With him occupied and him also occupied, I'll give that to you for free as well right now.
And going to come down here and hug that edge.
Okay.
And see what's beyond.
This looks like the front entrance to the place.
Okay.
So it looks, and you kind of hear from Sheena, yeah, it looks like that's the main hallway.
So it seems like I completely went around the target.
you have a full assessment
circling the drain
of what the threats are in this place, for sure.
Yeah, that's true.
And
I deactivated one of them or minimalized one of them.
Yep. You hear a whisper in your mind, 2 minutes.
Okay, so then I want to. Oh shit! And there's no door over here.
There's not.
Oh shit.
Kool-Aid Man, baby. Kool-Aid Man time.
Well, first off, he's going to come over this way and peek inside the other room, real quick.
Yeah. Okay, so you peek here, and let me just. So this guy is kind of like now standing in front of the TV over here. I don't know if you can see this token right now
You can kind of see him.
from the angle.
You can kind of see him.
Whoops.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I had to look through his viewpoint for a second. Yeah, it looks like he's stepped away from the camera right now, and he's got his hand to his ear. Looks like he's on his comm unit, and he's pulled up his glasses and he's looking up something right now. And then you hear Sheena say, "Oh shit, he's checking out the security. He may notice."
So while he's distracted, Vincent's going to head this way.
Okay. Just because of proximity here, very low DC stealth check. Just give me a stealth check, see how well you're doing. Cover your re-entrance into the room here.
That's a net 1. That's better.
You're fine.
So yeah, he's going to sneak down here to this door.
Okay.
And he's gonna listen real quick. Does he hear the snoring from this one too? I can't remember.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
By the way, I set up the lights in this place and everything.
Looks good though.
It does look good. It looks real good. That was a 24.
You don't hear shit in here. You think it's clear.
Okay, so he's going to pop open the door and look inside.
Just for reference.
Okay, that concerned me earlier.
I had the thought earlier, but yeah, it's just for a fact.
So he's going to peek inside.
All right. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to close the door on this, because presumably that's what you do as well.
Yeah.
And then we'll flip on the light so you can see. It looks like a lab. It looks like a little. I mean, the art here obviously is a little bit anachronistic, but it's basically holographic terminals off to the side. It looks like this is definitely like a kind of like a operating or kind of like a workstation area. Definitely probably what you're looking for. Something in here is what you're looking for.
So is it a physical thing or is it a digital thing?
It's a digital thing.
Okay, so it would probably...
It's stored locally here, but yeah.
Okay. So...
like she was able to access the security systems. This room isn't necessarily wired up to the network necessarily.
Okay. So Vincent's gonna sneak over here to this door.
Okay.
And he's gonna... Oh, I was just gonna have him listen real quick, but that works too.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Because I'll tell you right now, it looks like just a mainframe sort of room. There's some, storage devices and such, like, or computer hardware and such.
Is there anything like very well what I'm looking for could be on these computers in here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
but you could also check around in here and see if there's anything used. There's also another door over here.
Yeah, I want him to come over here and check that door.
Yeah, that one is basically just like a little closet. But it does look like there's some gear stashed away in there.
What would I roll? Perception?
I'm not even going to make you roll for it. Basically,
okay.
if you go into there, we're going to abstract it a little bit. You find some tools and devices and some loose cred sticks, basically equaling about 200 creds worth of materials.
Okay.
Collecting that, so you can add, and you can just add the credits straight to your store.
Okay. So then after that, he'll come back out and search for on the nearest computer and
Okay.
dig around.
Go ahead and make me a computers check.
Computers?
Yep.
Okay.
My job.
You guys got a lot of overlap with you.
Oh yeah.
And then Frank Pizza called him.
Mhm.
20 pizzas.
So 16, like you're no slouch. You're definitely able to like, with your setup, you're able to bypass the security that they have going on, relative, there's some twists and turns, but Sheena kind of whispers a word or two in your ear to help you out. And, oh no, it's actually this route command. And you're able to bypass the security and get to the storage. It takes you about a minute though.
And I
And
had 2 minutes left.
yep.
So
And
that'll work.
so as you both are kind of pouring through the files, Sheena suddenly chimes in and is like, something's off here. And she like points out the file specifically. And what you see is like there it would be basically the equivalent of like a text file that says, to whom it may concern.
Let's see. Would I have to? This would be a sense motive, wouldn't it?
Little bit.
I'm gonna roll a sense motive.
Okay.
Come on, don't fuck me like this.
What are you trying to ascertain here at this moment?
I am trying to determine right at that second whether this could be a trap or not.
It feels trappish, but you're not 100% sure, like, why. Like, so far, nothing about this has been 100% red flag. Like, Sheena's gotten you into places like this by compromising security before, no problem.
This feels
But
different.
yeah, it feels contrived.
As in made up.
And Sheena's beginning to pick up on it now, too. Like, something feels off. And then she opens the file and then starts laughing.
What?
Just open it. Just open it.
Okay. He opens it.
It's a file that contains a PDF scan, the equivalent of a business card, a hard stock business card with the same name that Ren has received. And there's a note attached to it. And it says, to whom it may concern, you may consider this as the first, you have passed the first round of qualifying for a special position that I'd like to offer you. And then it lists an address and a time. And the follow-up says, I'm sorry for deceiving you, but we had to make sure. We are looking for qualified individuals who with a certain set of skills, and this is an open standing offer for anyone who is able to retrieve this file. As you've succeeded in this, you are the first to be offered this position. P.S. There may be more on the way who have also received this package. And then you hear gunshots down the hall coming from over here. And you hear a flurry of noise, like, what the hell? And then return fire. You're not sure what's going on outside this room at this moment.
So
you hear loud noises being to come from this direction, fire, shots being fired.
So first off, Vincent's first reaction is going to start to head this way. When he does, he's going to look out this window and see how far down the drop is.
Okay, tell me that again. Sorry.
So first reaction is going to be to start heading this way to go down here. But before he goes this way, he's going to look outside and see how far down the drop is.
You're looking at a 20-story drop for sure.
Mm.
It's bad, but down here there's like the rest of the building. Like this is what we're looking at outside is like another kind of
Yeah.
like this is looking out into kind of more an open area internally. Like this is still part of the building, I should say.
Oh, I see.
So like these windows, they're looking down into like a common area down a floor, I guess I should say. So
Oh.
I suppose the drop
Oh.
is not that great. Like I had to think about it for a second, sorry. But yeah, so down here, it's like about a story or two's drop, so you could potentially exit, but you'd have to break through the glass. And it's probably tempered secured glass, for sure.
That's what I was considering, but now, first thing that's going to happen is Vincent's going to come down here and then peer through the door as
Okay. You're able to unlock the door from here, and as you unlock it and open it, hold on here, you are faced with this guy. Kind of like, first he woke up and he ran over here, then realized the door was locked. Then the door opened on him. So you are now face to face with a security goon who's just like looking at you stunned. He's barely got and then he goes up to raise his gun and click. We are going to roll for initiative. So hold on here 1 second.
First combat.
All right. If you go to the combat encounters tab up there, you can roll your initiative by clicking the die over there by your name. Does that make sense?
Yep, I got it. Oh.
Where was that again?
Oh.
Where was that again? Sorry. For initiative,
This
just
is-
now.
I got a 9. He got a 17.
Yep. All right. So
What do you roll initiative again? I missed that. Sorry. Just so I know for later.
it's in the combat encounters tab.
Oh, okay, got it.
When I create an encounter, basically there's
Yeah.
going to be a die by your name that you can click,
Yeah.
and then you can roll your initiative.
Got it.
So yeah, hold on here 1 sec. I don't know what that template is I made. Didn't mean that. Get the fuck out of here. There we go. So yeah, he first goes, and then he's like, click, 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 click. And then he just throws his weapon at you. You know, right into your face. We're just gonna do a simple roll here. We're gonna add like, oh wow, okay. Does a 16 hit your kinetic AC?
Let me see.
If it meets, it beats.
So, is it if it meets it, or does it have to beat it?
It has to meet.
It has it meets. My kinetic AC is 16.
Gotcha. You take 2 points of stamina damage. You can right click on the number there. Or actually, hold on, that needs to be subtracted by 1. But you could right click the number, the 3, and select like apply half damage if you do that.
I don't. What? Huh?
So in the chat log there, if you right click the number that I rolled, the 3,
Right click,
Oh.
apply.
there's a
half
menu that
damage?
pops up. Yep, select half damage for me, please.
Okay.
Yep, and then there's a little pop-up that said, and you should see on your bar there that you've lost 1 point of stamina. It's now
Half
your
damage.
turn.
Okay, I'll take half damage.
Because it's an improvised attack. He was just throwing his weapon.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
We're
that.
playing
Okay.
a little on the fly here. So now it's your turn. He does that, and then with his move action, he fucking bolts down this way, recognizing that he's a little fucked right now. So he bolts down this way real quick, and you can hear yelling, but you could also hear gunfire still going off over here.
Well, so Vincent's also gonna bolt that way and get the hell out.
All right, so that's going to be your move action. So you're able to move your full speed So you're able to make it right here. Let me get you a light source just so you can kind of see what's going on, because he's flicked on the light there too. So he's made it over to this point.
Okay. So
Actually,
that gives.
let
Go
me
ahead.
double check something real fast, because that was like, I wonder if it's like D&D where it's like if you do a dash, your speed is how far you move. You can use 2 move actions in a round. A double move, you can move up to double. Oh yeah, so he's absolutely like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's double down that way.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same, but out the door.
A very wise move, I would say. You know, why fight when you don't have to? So you make it down and out the escape, and you just hear the sounds of gunfire going off as someone who got the same lead as you have decided to take the more brute force approach to getting in. So yeah, and that's where we're going to stop right there and pause for that moment. I need to pee real bad before we move to the next scene.
Sure.
So give me a second.
Now I can unmute myself.
I felt bad about the amount of time I took, and now I realize, nah, ain't nothing.
So I mean,
you
I
were
saw,
you
I
were the
saw,
shortest.
yeah, I saw yours, and then
It's
Oh,
the reason
boy,
why he saved me for last. I think there's a
I-
reason why.
in the back
I
of my
felt
head, I was
bad.
like, oh, here we go, more airlil, fuck.
I mean,
Yeah, I was like, guess I go quick.
I mean, shit, I thought I was bad because yours was like 10 minutes. Mine was like nearly like 40.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, I should stop talking.
Well, I mean, no, it's fine. Here's the thing, because like it's gonna turn into one team probably
Well,
shortly
then,
anyway,
and then
so it's not a
Stell
big
comes
deal.
I
out.
mean, we have to have all our solo hero movies first.
Oh, and then I'm like, Stell's like, dude, wait, Stell's good is as an actual map encounter? I'm like, dude, I would have loved a map encounter. I'm like, dude,
You should have
lucked out.
attacked. You should have attacked a couple.
I
Six
mean,
or
yeah, I
seven.
mean, all right, we're gonna have to move your
Android
seat
went off the.
and roll for initiative, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I could,
Android just lost his shit,
yeah, because
killing
I
old people.
honestly still to this day, I still don't know if I got in a combat, I'd even know what the fuck to do.
I
To
mean,
be honest,
I'm just still laughing at the whole sneaking thing, and all the combat I got was a gun thrown at my face.
dude,
yep.
like,
I mean, hey,
dude,
Well,
you
the
took a
reason
long way
why
around. I was
is
wondering why you were doing it.
You made a good call. You made a good call there because you had Sheena try to hack the weapon and she was successful. So, like, that was
yeah.
legit. You earned that one. So, and yeah, I thought about that after the fact. Like, it would have been nice
I'm just
to
peeing as you're talking.
introduce you with combat as well, Grindy. But like,
Oh, it's fine.
the setup
You're
I
gonna
had
beat up
was
a
like,
bunch of old
it
people.
felt like your scenario starting made the most sense. Is like, I want to give you something that's a little bit more down to earth.
And my character wasn't based in espionage or combat. I was a mechanic on a space station, so
Yeah,
I totally understand it. It's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, this was also like I want to see what I could put together, just like on on a map, and like all the lights I set up. I'm particularly proud. While we're just talking real quick, of I'll move your token so you know what I'm talking about. This fucking room right here with the blue light. I set up the blue light there.
Yeah,
That's
really
an
good.
That's the TV.
That is
Yep.
really good. I love how the light just it's looks legit, like it's lighting up the room. I love that.
Yeah, the Foundry's fucking cool, man. I could do some cool ass shit with it.
Right.
I mean, here's the thing.
Okay.
I like Foundry. I like the options, and I like actually like the graphics for it. But the only thing I don't like is it's not as cohesive, if you will, of like a situation where it's like things kind of get added on their own kind of thing, and like does it for you. Like it does some of it, but some of it I think it might be
But
module
that's
stuff.
it's
you know?
just
Yeah.
tabletop, dude.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how these games work. Like, if you're not going off of a module, you got to put everything together, and that's why I wanted the extra week to kind of get things situated. And some of this shit I am still making up on the fly. Absolutely. I'm not going
Hey,
to tell you
hey,
which things are
that
which.
meme, Vaden,
Right.
that meme, the one that I've posted, I've tagged you in like 2 or 3 times, the improv one with the world turning.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, there's nothing
I
wrong with
mean,
improving. You're doing a good job. So,
No, no, there's not. There's absolutely not.
yeah. Well, and starting a game is always the hardest part because you're trying to get into the mood.
Yes,
more than anything.
and
Well, I mean, hell, by the time we start, who knows that new D&D live action role playing tabletop simulator thing
D&D
might be
Beyond,
ready to go.
D&D
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
Where did that gun hit me, by the way, when it was thrown?
Not that pretty face, I hope.
16 through 20 face. 13 through or 12 through 15 chest.
I want to go ahead and roll this.
If it's 1, it's going to be in the nuts. A 6
Okay.
probably hit you in the leg, just kind of
Okay.
bounce off, and it's like, kind of, I mean, it's a bulky enough weapon, so there's definitely some weight to it, so you kind of felt you kind of have this like bruise on your leg more than anything right now,
Okay.
just so as far as that shit goes, not so bad. You also got 200 credits out of the deal, not so
Yep.
bad.
I just added that too.
Yep. All right. And you could also bring your stamina back up to full because we're going to be moving on to the next day now. So,
Pull up.
how do we approach this next one? I think we'll stick with this. So,
Oh, wait, no.
the next day, we'll first ask or Dar, you'll have to wait a little bit longer. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Sorry.
So, Ren and Vincent, during the day, like your allotted time is basically, towards the end of the workday. So you have a day to kind of like, and you like Vincent, you kind of leave the scene, and you're able to kind of get lost in the crowd and kind of you just you do your usual. You get yourself lost just in case someone's tailing you, especially with what you know. And meanwhile, Sheena's been just going to work searching. And we'll actually give her a roll here real quick.
That was something, that I wanted to ask in character, was to have her search the name on the card.
Yeah. Oh.
What is that? Was that a 20?
That was a 20.
Oh, nat 20.
Yeah, she got a 30.
She got that dirt.
Yeah. So everything I told Ren is relayed to you now, basically.
You may need to go over that again because I was zoned the fuck out.
Oh, you're fine. So basically, Rufus was a law officer for the Absalom Security Forces for the longest time. Like this is like 10 or 20 years ago. Joins the force. He's from a kind of low income family that's mostly based out, kind of in a rundown neighborhood in the Ring. Huge clan of halflings, by the way. He apparently has like 5 brothers, 3 sisters, and it's a good old fashioned huge ass halfling family. The Thistle Springs are fucking everywhere. But so he joins Absalom Security Forces, rises to ranks, makes detective. He creates basically a storied career of anti-corruption, going against corporate interests, white-collar crime. He's definitely had, gotten into blows with some major corporate interests. And then about a year, and she's able to dig up also his connections with the current Primex. She's not able to find whether they're maintained or not, but she determines that at some point he went undercover. And then shortly after that point is when his career at ESF begins to stall out. Apparently, he pissed off some major players. And then he retires and goes into private business. And from what she can tell, he's been reaching out to a bunch of his contacts and somehow made a play to acquire this building that has been sealed off and condemned for a while. It looked in her investigation with that 20, she's able to determine that he was involved in whatever corporate shakedown happened, and that's the reason that he's able to gain access to this. Called in a
Hey.
favor or two.
Hey, Sonny, can
Yeah.
you? I got some homework for you.
Yeah.
I don't need it all right now. Take your time on trying to find it, but see if you can. And this is all going on in my head, by the way. The telepathic link, not out loud.
Yep. She specifically doesn't like to communicate over comms for that reason.
So that I want you to see if you can find any dirt on this person. If there's any anything in his background that he's corrupt or anything, any kind of
I'm
leverage.
looking into it. There's it's problematic. He's clearly got some forces working behind him that know how to scrub his history, because I had to do some deep digging to get what I was able to get. Out of character. Ren was just super fucking lucky with his check because he's a goddamn genius too. But yeah, she's like, I'm not sure. Also, I'm sorry I gave us a bad lead. I didn't realize. I didn't realize.
I don't blame you.
I think one other thought occurs to me. I don't think they know about me. I think they were relying. I think they think that you're the one who's compromised security. I think that they may think that you're more, don't take this the wrong way, more capable.
Oh,
Like
no,
they might
no
think
offense,
that you're a
Jacob.
solo agent.
Well, we can use that to our advantage, can't we?
We got to be very careful about comms. And I'm going to be staying very under the radar. Plus, I just got a new game and it's going to be fucking awesome. And I'm really looking forward to it. So the second we get done with our work, I am gone. Let me tell you, I'm just, and she just rattles on.
Tears of the Kingdom, man. Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. So whatever the Starfinder equivalent to that in VR is. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll get you some time off soon, Sonny.
Ren, what do you do during the day before your appointment? If
Grinding?
anything.
What are you thinking? Staring at the closet.
Yeah, so his internal clock will go off and say, it is 2039 in solar
I have
cycle.
woken up at 6 a.m. and
Yeah,
16
you're
milliseconds.
like, yeah, you're like if you have an iPhone or like it's that same like it's like that like weird like nuclear alarm sound that is the like the default alarm sound for all freaking iPhones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh god. It's like what? Oh, I'm awake. I'm awake.
Funny enough,
the marimbas.
funny enough, time is called PAX Standard Time in this game. PST. PAX Standard
PAX
Time.
Standard.
Yeah, it's
Nice,
Okay.
nice.
yeah. So it's like 2200 PST or whatever.
Yeah,
Now.
but do they go up to? I'm assuming this is a dystopian style kind of future. So normally we would have a 24-hour day based off of a sun-night cycle, but we are on a space station, so is this actual daytime 36 hours long to get more
So
productivity into it?
there is an artificial
You told me
kind
about
of,
that at the beginning,
yeah,
but I
climate.
didn't know if I didn't know if that was artificially extended to get more hours of the day out of the workers. No.
Not necessarily. They
Oh,
exercise
really?
other kinds of ways to control the populace and the
So,
worker class,
so
mostly through observation, supervision, every part of their lives being monetized, kind of like I don't know, our lives.
So I was basically saying, like, all right, how are we balancing it between Star Trek and Star Wars? I'm like, all right, so Star Trek, super, everything's hunky dory, we don't need money, everybody loves each other, yada yada. And then Star Wars, like, well, there's some conflict. Maybe there's a murderous genocide race of space wizards out there that's gonna kill everybody. So I mean,
this is leaning like twice in Star Wars direction. Like there are
okay,
definitely good
okay.
societies, but there are also like I think like
Do we have
one
like mega corp?
Eox has like bone mages and shit and
Do
like
we have
looting
do we have like
starships and bullshit.
mega corporations that are kind of like running everything so that they would try and
Absolutely.
get more money out of
Especially
the
in
worker?
especially in Absalom.
That's what I was leaning to. So I'm like, all
Yeah.
right. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready and start my 12-hour shift because that's the 12-hour day.
Right.
That kind of thing. I'm like, all right, cool.
Your first time?
Tyron has you running 10-hour shifts when you do work.
Okay. That's
he's
reasonable.
a pretty
Actually, that's
reasonable
reasonable.
employer.
Okay.
He has got enough workers to go through it, and he has enough consistent business that he's just not concerned about it.
Well, he said
So
he set up this meeting. Do I? Is this like middle of the week? And
Well,
this is
yeah. Basically, this is the next day, and he's basically said you are welcome to work, and I will pay you whenever you want to work here. If you want
okay.
to just come and hang out, that's fine too. But you are not obligated to be here anymore.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, if he's got people set up, we finished the last job with that last couple that we're arguing, and he's like, hey man, I'm gonna dip out for a couple hours. I'm gonna go meet with this cat, because he's not gonna 100% guarantee that this is a surefire thing. So
No,
I'm gonna
you're
go
doing
do
a
it.
meet right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna just do a meet and greet. So I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna go head out and meet. What was his name again?
This is Rufus.
Rufus. I'm gonna go meet. I'm gonna go meet up with Rufus. Yeah.
Let's see. Do I have? Man,
I still have not landed on a voice for this character, so I'm gonna switch between like I don't know, cocky English
if
and
I'm being
like
honest,
street,
that is what I'm
street
doing.
rat New Yorker, and I'm like I don't even fucking know at this point.
I'm doing the same thing with all of my characters until I settle because
Right?
we're all learning this. We're all kind of getting this together. So no stress, no worries. So yeah. So you kind of I don't know. Do you go to work today, or you take the day off, or you kind of what's your
No, I mean he's been itching for an opportunity for a while. So if he gets to go ahead and he's already finished up the last job with the last thing, and he's gonna think my schedule's open until new customers come in. And the peons in the back, they can take care of these regular, basically like mechanical, jobs that come in there just to fix up,
I mean,
whatever. That's fine.
Anstey's Tyron's best employee, so she's got it. Like she can.
Yeah. The
she's
tune-ups,
basically on your
the
level.
regular maintenance shit. You guys got this. I mean, I'm here for the more professional shit.
Are there any preparations you like to make before going? Same question to you, Vincent.
Huh? What? No.
Any preparations you want to make other than the ones you mentioned?
He's going to. And this is more arbitrary story-wise. He's going to check that his charge on his pistol is fully
it was never
fully
used.
charged.
It was never used. It never had to be used.
Because
you never had to charge your firearm.
You're an espionage. If you fire your firearm, you failed. If I fire my firearm, I mean that's just me in the streets. You were supposed to slip in and slip out undetected.
Yep.
So towards the end of the day, both of you, by a twist of magical fate, find yourselves outside Thistle Spring Agency, name pending.
We run into each other and we kiss. I don't know how.
I keep thinking about. I keep thinking about Dimension 20 when you say Thistle Spring there. Yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah.
So,
I do like change the background. I wish I could actually see my character token though.
We could bring those on there.
No, I can't see. No, not token. My cursor. I can see everybody else's cursor, but my own, and that just annoys the fuck out of me.
I see
yours, so
I see my cursor.
It's so weird. Like I'd rather it be like a floating green ball with my name on it than just my mouse.
Don't be like
that.
So
this is by kind of like you
Hey,
know,
thanks for the follow,
kind of a side
Alberon.
street, and kind of a rundown, not a rundown neighborhood necessarily, but like, there's a lot of like
Hope you have a good
different
evening, man. Sorry,
like
I had to mute
middle
myself in
class
Discord.
buildings around. There's a couple quarters. There's a shopping mall near down the way. This is sort of like this kind of facility that is a couple like one story, but there's also a tower that kind of accommodates some sort of dock or landing pad at the top of that tower over there. But largely, this facility runs down. And one thing to clarify about Absalom is when we look, and I'm going to just direct focus over here real quick. When we look at this map over here, this is a top-down view, okay? And it's abstract, so there's buildings all around here. But there's also at the bottom that you don't see is this giant spike. There's a whole series of under levels to Absalom where people have lived and died and civilizations have collapsed, and there's unexplored sections that every once in a while local officials will eventually go, we should really clean out the underside of Absalom, and root out all that, but it never happens, particularly because scholars advise not for this to happen, because there's many things about this station that are not understood by people. So systems that they don't understand, things that are vital to the infrastructure of this station to keep it running. And there's a certain hands-off quality, like everything's working. If we fuck with it too much, bad shit happens. So
long story short, they never figured out how to remove the safety features from the purge all emptying the space button.
It's like the Citadel in Mass Effect.
It's the Citadel in Mass Effect. Yeah.
It's literally the Citadel in Mass Effect.
This is my favorite cathedral on the Citadel.
Yeah, this was my inspiration too. Was
right,
like, I read everything about Absalom and was like, it's the Citadel. I fucking love it. We're doing it.
Please tell me, even at the beginning of it, you're like, weird, people can flow in and travel easier around. You mean the mass driver that's associated with the thing?
It's Mass Effect. It's Mass Effect.
It's Mass Effect.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so you find yourselves outside this, lovely little building that definitely has several subfloors, and then below that further connects to the spike, which is that underlevel. So, and this has been, and from both of you have discovered that this building has been sealed off for a while, and it just seems to be like the doors are open right now, and you can tell that people are in there. Not too many though, and it's at this moment that both of you find yourselves walking up towards the front doors at the same time, and you both kind of look over each other, and there's a certain commonality of purpose that you recognize in that moment.
So
a 420, a 486 credit score. Oof.
And like you guys can describe
yourselves
to each other if you like, and kind of get an idea of what you two are looking at for each other.
Well, we don't know each other from Adam. We don't know if we're in the same issue. We're just two strangers kind of
Hey, Dar, is the stream up right now?
Mm-hmm.
He still is, yes.
Yeah,
okay, hold on one second.
Yeah. I don't give a shit.
So
I might get a piece of cake as you're doing that. Good idea.
Okay, well, I want to wait for people to get back.
Oh, no, I can hear you. Go ahead. He just took his camera down.
Oh, yeah, go for it. I'm here. Don't worry.
He just really wanted to
taking care of some business.
He's got some in his throat.
Here's a basic thing, like I had sent Vaden with the whole questions. He's got slicked back, shoulder-length jet black hair, a roguish stubbled beard, and a dark gray leather jacket with a popped collar. He's 6'3", but lanky and very dexterous for his size, and he has bluish gray eyes.
What do you look like, Randy? We never really actually covered character descriptions.
I want to know, but does he really have that soul patch?
I like that dialogue pop.
Right. Dialogue pop.
Sure, why not? Let's keep the soul patch.
So
Go.
I know I used that character, but that was kind of almost too fantasy. I guess I want to kind of replace that with more of a sci-fi sort of android kind of face. It's
Just describe what you look like, and then
it, it,
change the
it
camera image later.
it's more complex than most androids that
Hmm.
you've seen, which kind of specifies that it might have been a higher quality at the time, but there's a lot of grime about it because, like I had said in my intro, he never made it to his destination. So he ended up in the slums. So yeah, you're right. His construction was really good, and people might have said, "Dude, this is really nice." But he's lived in the shithole for 30 years. So all of the most niceties covered it with a nice layer of grime there. So it's like looking at a really, really nice robot from like I don't know
Mhm.
Prometheus. I mean, it has humanoid style features, no eyebrows, no hair, what's to speak of, uh, and his eyes are kind of grayish in color, so they're not like quite look human like. Most of the time that they shuffle around far too quickly to be of human nature, so you can tell he's clearly computer based. So we wouldn't very pass for a human if you look directly at his face. Uh, but that's about it. I mean, and I think he's maybe about 5'9" in height. Um, he looked like he would weigh maybe about 200 pounds, but he probably weighs closer to 300 because he's dense and machine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Uh, and he's wearing he basically left work, so he's kind of wearing his cleanest uh, own copy of overalls and shit. He's like, I don't have any other clothes,
I
so he's
have
like,
no dress up clothes, bro.
I
What am I
don't
supposed to do?
have dress up clothes.
I
can't
guess I'll
remember-
put on my
yeah.
cleanest shirt.
Yeah,
and shit.
he,
I
he
don't
put on
fucking
he
know.
put on his cleanest like
I've got a nice button up, and that's the
Yeah.
one thing that I have.
right.
One nice button
That's
up.
presentable.
So Vaden, what corporation owns the garage? Because everything's owned by a corporation.
It's independently owned. This one.
That is not possible. Are
Yeah.
you serious? There's a shop. So this is actually a shop that's
No
independent.
one knows how
No.
he pulled it off, but he did.
So
He independently owns that garage that's connected with some of the most disreputable docks, and no one fucks with him.
So he puts on the only uniform he was given that was still clean and not stained by space grease or whatever, and it's the uniform of the corporation that owned the shop before he somehow won it in a card
The
game. And
logo's
it's like
like,
it's,
I don't know, like
it's like
three-
Spudco or something like Spud
like
Space Go.
3 ratchets, like aligned together or some shit like that. Like
Yeah,
it's and it the gearbox right underneath it.
yeah.
It looks
It's like a
like
discontinued corporation that got bought out by like 37 different other corporations over the last 10 years. So people don't recognize the symbol, the logo, but it looks clean. Good enough for me.
right, exactly.
Okay.
Let me.
That's
See.
what he's wearing,
We need. I
which
need
seems very out of place.
I
I'm
don't have
sure.
music for this, so let's just do something more chill, I suppose. What-
Persona
This is-
5, LeBlanc.
I don't hear it. I don't hear it anyway.
If it was royalty free, I'd play it. But
I don't give a shit about that.
I'm just
I don't
Gaming
think-
music I don't care about. I don't care about
I'm
game music.
well,
Dark is-
we
dark
could
is
I really
listening to
like
music.
I really like the Futaba inspired like Technomancer.
My interpretation is still in the work here. I was planning on doing her a bit goofier, but just trying to get the mood of it. I wasn't able to reflect that quite yet. We'll ease it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, we're outside the Thistle Spring Agency, name pending, because they haven't actually named it yet. And you two are kind of both approaching at the same time by a quirk of fate, and you both see each other. And as you're kind of both heading towards the door at the same time, you could kind of look at each other, and there's sort of like that moment where you're like, "Oh, we're here for the same reason."
So I have a way that I would want to introduce.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
as we're walking towards the door, like then it becomes obvious that we're going to the same place.
Mhm.
Vincent looks at Ren and says, "You too, huh?"
We'll see.
You go up the steps and you let's switch scenes here again because this is just to set the tone here. Where is that? Did I actually not do that one? Motherfucker, I didn't set up that one. Motherfucker.
Just have the
Okay,
picture
hold
up.
on.
It's okay.
Also, can we get a sit rep on time tonight?
Right. We're only going to go for 40 more minutes at most.
Okay.
We kind of went, the previous segments went longer than I was expecting.
Yeah,
That's
because
okay.
You know, that's how it do
That's
be,
fine.
though.
Hey, listen.
Uh,
Compared to the campaign we're doing on the other side, a lot more RP, so I'm fine with that.
I know, right?
I don't have the interior set up, but as you walk in, there's basically kind of like a high-tech front desk, and it looks like this place hasn't fully been set up yet. Behind a receptionist desk, you see a Shirin, which is sort of like a bug kind of creature. They belonged to a hive once, but they've kind of attained kind of independence from that swarm, as it were, and they propagated throughout the galaxy. Shirins, they pride individuality because of what they experience being part of a hive mind, but they are also very collective and team oriented folks. This particular Sharon, she looks up and she's just kind of working away, terminal going. Looks like she's communicating with you're not sure who she's communicating with, but she's just kind of rattling on like instructions and oh yeah, no, we're trying to set up contracts with these folks. There's a lot of different like business conversations that you kind of briefly overhear as you approach. And then she looks up, how can I help you?
So, real quick, is with mine, since I don't have a physical card.
Yeah.
Is there any type of thing that I could have on me that would be
Basically,
like holographic or something?
Basically, the equivalent of like it would be a cred or kind of a data stick or something like that, where it's like this has the file on it. And so that's something you could certainly share if you wanted to.
And when she says that, he pulls out of presumably his jacket. Is it?
Yeah.
I'm here about. Puts it on the desk. This is a business card that I was handed.
Right. You're another recruit. You too. He looks up past your shoulder over to Ren.
Ren's like kind of nods and like points his head at her monitor, and it's there on her monitor.
I see. All right, Rufus, you've got another. And then out behind the reception desk, there's a little office, and out strolls out a little halfling, curly hair. It's fantasy art because I couldn't find anything better, but this captured sort of his smug ass fucking face. I felt very well, and he kind of
Bilbo Baggins.
yeah.
That's what I
He
thought.
has now. It's basically Bilbo Baggins if he was a knockoff noir detective. He's got the trench coat. He's got the curly hair.
I love it.
He's strapped with a pistol at his side. In his he's got a white kind of like button up shirt with like a little analog notepad, like a scribble notepad in his pocket with a pen, and he kind of looks over and kind of and looks over at Vincent, looks at Ren, like in Ren, you recognize him, and he was kind of a jerk to you if you kind of recall. He came in with there were bullet holes. There were bullet holes and energy damage on his vehicle. It looked like he had been in a firefight recently.
Yeah.
And he was very non-apologetic and did not explain shit, did not tip, asked repeatedly when you'd be done. He was not a great client. And he looks over to you, Vincent, and kind of has a bit of a wry smile as he's like, I think I know who you are. I definitely know who you are. Points at you, Red. Come on to my office. Let's talk.
As we're filing in behind him, Vincent comments, "Nice notepad. A man who likes the finer things." As in, like, because like they could just use the digital shit and all that. So it's more like.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever watched the old White Bird movies?
Mm-mm.
Or
White
the Holovids? Yes. So I have a thing for old detective stories from old Galarian, and that's sort of
I wish
my
you,
inspiration, as it were.
I wish you'd put Ritz Gut Gak's picture in there instead. That'd been amazing.
Which one?
Ritz from
Oh, Fancy High.
yeah, that'd been great. They've been like, oh, he graduated.
Oh, Ritz. Yeah, or what's it? Yeah,
That's his future. Ritz
great
Gut Gak.
character.
Ritz Gut Gak.
Fucking love that character. But he offers you 2 seats across his desk. It looks like an office. There's several building or like boxes and that need to be unpacked. This is very much you can tell that there's like an operations kind of being set up from the ground here. As you were looking around in the interior, you could see like there was a lab or like some sort of like workshop being set up, and a couple of like a few individuals were in there kind of setting up equipment and such, but this is very bare bones right now. And like you can hear the Sharon still taking calls behind you. It's in Go ahead and give me a perception check if you want to try to listen in on some of that, either of you.
Grace, I got 11.
11. Okay. Yeah, you're not able to make out much. 19. You're picking up more like she's communicating with another, like what sounds like some live team that's dealing with something. Like there's talks about like you hear occasional words like, yes, we've engaged this unit down here. That looks like there's some trash that we're trying to clear out down in some of the lower levels, just kind of like it sounds like there's a team undergoing some kind of operation, and she's taking live updates from them. Yeah, so that's happening. That may be happening right now. So, but Rufus kind of extends his hand, introduces.
Oh, I like that. Grinder just
Look in
posted
the
a photo
on-air chat.
The chat for the voice chat. You gotta look at the webcam section and click the chat button.
Oh yeah, hold on here. Where the fuck is that?
Let me pull it up here. Because it messes my webcam, so I'm gonna open and close it. Oh.
Open chat. There we go. Oh yeah, I love it. I fucking love it. That might be getting replaced here later.
That's good. I like that.
I dig that a lot.
Halfling detected sci-fi image AI. Boom.
I tried. I did not find things I liked. So I grabbed what I did.
That's why you just gotta make your own sometimes.
And like it's imagination. That these games are imagination.
100%, yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta like wing it. So
you could probably replace it right now if you really, really wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Like
zero action. It's fine.
I set it there. But anyway, so yeah, Rufus shakes your hands and kind of is like, so I do. In your case, he looks at you, Vincent. I do apologize about the method used. Did you escape safe?
I took somebody threw a gun at my thigh, but yeah, otherwise I'm fine.
Threw a gun at you?
Yeah.
They were not the best. Well, I guess I picked right on that one then. Yeah. So we there was some effort made to replace the data stash that they were trying to transfer, and he kind of has a smirk on his face. It's always good to disappoint the bad guys.
That was very clever.
So, I'm sure both of you, being smart little cookies as you are, I've heard from Tyron that you're quite the little genius. Looks over at you, Ren. I hear you do some excellent work for him.
I do work for him. Well, below what I can actually do, and he's well aware of it and is infinitely happy that I'm sticking around. Unless there's an alternative. Hence, I'm
There
taking
just
this
might be.
meeting with you.
So, yeah, that's a good segue. What I'm looking for is to put together sort of a response team. Response team is a standing team. I want to bring together some individuals and have them work for me to do some things that he presses a button and a door behind you closes. And then he just presses another button and there's a
Cone of silence.
couple devices that immediately kind of do a quick scan of you guys, and kind of he looks at a screen as it's happening. Okay. I don't think any listening devices. Okay. Yeah, so we may be doing some things that maybe would not be approved of by the forces that be. Just missions here and there. I will tell you, and I know I'm being very coy and vague about it, but I do intend on running counter to some very powerful figures here at Absalom, which requires absolute secrecy in our operation. And I'm led to believe that both of you might be the types that would be interested in work like that. But I'm looking to build a team from the ground up. Several teams, in fact. On paper, we would be just mercenaries offering services to the highest bidder to achieve things largely, of corporate interest.
So you're looking at creating a spike team, as they call it. I just learned that terminology as of this week for that exact. It's called spike team. Brings in, they bring people up, and then they roll them off after they got them onboarded. They call them spike teams.
Or an NBC sitcom, or drama, rather.
But, so, Ren's going to speak up. So, like, do you want us publicly listed on the manifest as a mercenary company, or are you trying to keep us off the books and doing more dark web work?
We would have a public and a private persona.
Okay, so we'd have a public face. So I would then be included on a database somewhere listed as a mercenary. Okay.
Maybe. Well, largely, I'd like to keep you off the books, just for plausible deniability. On the books, you would likely still be working for Tyron, and we'll make that arrangement. He'll be well compensated for keeping that secret. You, Vincent, you have no such connection, and you seem to operate purely as a lone agent. Your skills in infiltration and extraction are noted in the circles you run in, which you were definitely on our list after one of your jobs. You've done some good work. Very impressed with you. But
okay, so out of character, real quick.
Yeah,
out of character, real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm
So
improvising some shit here, obviously.
one of the things that I had said before, I'm willing to retcon at this point because it fits. Whenever I had given my backstory, I had said something about him hating Absalom and wanting to find a way off the station.
Yeah.
But now that after that has come up, I'm wanting to change that to that he just does not want to go anywhere near that sector where his father is, where he grew up.
Right.
So what I want to do is to convey that to this guy that's I just never want to go near this. is essentially what I'm wanting to do.
So you,
And I
How
don't
do
know
you-
what section that is.
yeah, right. So do you mention his name? We haven't established your father's name yet, have
No.
we?
And he's trying to trying to put that in the past where like it's supposed to be a secret.
Mm-hmm.
Like he changed his name and everything and
Yeah.
went off the station.
Do you want to bring up his identity then to Rufus or not?
No, all I want to say is that I don't want to go into this area. I do like everything's fine. This is off limits.
Well, okay, so just thinking about your background then real quick and thinking about your father's background. Likely he would be a person that also be on the move quite a bit, just based because mercenary work, things like that.
I mean, like he was
No.
retired. He's retired.
Always retired. Then likely what his, just based on what you've described, I would probably say that he spends most of his time out in the Armada outside of Absalom. Basically, which I described earlier tonight, but that's basically this giant fleet of like random ships that don't necessarily want to dock at Absalom for whatever reason. Maybe they don't want to pay the fees, maybe they don't want whatever, or maybe they don't want to be on any public radars. There's a lot of ships out there that just kind of operate independently. Huge ships, small ships, all different sizes,
as big as your fist.
but they're, different outfits, criminals. There's a casino that runs out there. There's all sorts of shit. From what you understand, he spends most of his time out there to, fly very deep under the radar. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that would work.
Okay.
Then yeah, we can completely retcon that. That works. So that's not really anything. He's not that concerned about it though.
Gotcha. So as you guys are discussing that, you suddenly feel something. And this is a moment where it's like everything's fine, and then you just get this weird sense that something's wrong, and you feel this like energy rippling out from somewhere. And Rufus stands straight up and looks very concerned.
That's
And
my dick.
yeah. And then he
Power surge.
and the Sheeran out front is like, I hear it. We're looking into it. And then there's a few more voices down the way from that workshop that was just being said. And you hear, one person run out into that main, hall entryway, and he's shouting like, we just picked up a massive energy spike down below several floors. We can't pinpoint exactly where, but something's going on down in those lower floors. That's where we'll stop here. Switch to one final scene tonight.
Yeah.
Erlil,
Oh, hi.
you are bookending this session because we're getting
This whole time I thought we were like, and now Flame, and I'm like, oh shit.
No, he's still doing his backstory.
I know.
He's not being forgotten.
Flame is.
He just likes to watch.
Flame will join us. Flame will join us.
He likes to watch.
He's here with us in spirit. I hope
He
we're not.
likes
Get the dramatic opening where everyone else has already had theirs, and then it comes to me, and it's like so much better than everyone else.
Or you just singing at a concert, doing a
Main character syndrome.
Diva da
100%.
Sue, Diva da Sue.
Yeah, hashtag humble brag.
I'm guessing no
Sorry,
one
I
can
just
see
packed
right now, right?
parked my Tesla.
You do not own any tokens for this scene. Okay.
Yeah, I just see black.
Don't worry, because we're just about to do this. So, Erlil, you've been sent hurtling through space, and when your eyes come back into focus next, you find yourself standing in a very strange place. What appears to be a church, but has been abandoned.
Well, I thought it would be sort of
See
like
these
cathedral.
brilliant light coming from in front, where you see this like ancient kind of lighting source that's been carved into the wall.
The sun
And you
sword.
see looking around you, you see these like flood of candles kind of lighting the area, and along each of these like candles you can see like these little shrines, just little tiny little like, kind of like an idol, some what looks like old decayed flower petals kind of resting in front of each of them. Looks like at some point this was a shrine to several different deities. But you find yourself kind of waking up here and finding yourself in this strange alien space. It it looks both at the same time familiar to you, but yet like the walls don't remind you of any material you've ever seen before. And you're still like, your body feels weak. Your 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 connection to Chantea is weakened as well. Like you instinctively reach out to that like source of truth and power within you, and it just feels faint and flickering.
I'm not even sure what it is anymore because I've kind
Yeah.
of lost sense of things in
Yeah.
general, memory-wise.
Right. And as you're kind of looking around this room, how do we do it? So looking behind you, and I don't have a token set up for this necessarily, but you do see kind of like an older man, humanoid, covered in kind of a cloak, and he's kind of looking at you in this surprise. Who are you? And
Am
he kind
I
of forward.
am I still wearing my old clothing, or am I just like wearing a cloak and a librum at this point?
What would you like to be wearing?
I want the armor gone for now.
Yeah.
I want the armor gone for now because, like,
You don't have any equipment on you, as
I got the cloak and the librum. That's all I got. And the librum changed from Chantia to Serenre, but I don't even know what that is yet at the moment.
Yeah. Fair.
I thought about it. I thought about Stark naked.
Stark
Terminator 2. Oh no, he's Stark naked, but just wearing the cloak and the librum, and it's
Your
covering him.
clothes, give them to me.
Give me your
Give you,
clothes.
give you your pantaloons, your loot,
But yeah, this old
Okay.
man kind of shuffles
the
up.
sun sword.
You just appeared out of nowhere in a burst of light. Never seen anything like it.
Dude sounds high.
Kind of looks around. His eyes are glassy. Absolutely. It just looks shocked. And he might be coming down from a trip. You don't really see any other figures in this area. It's dimly lit, like the sources of light are kind of flickering in the main area, but the main source of light is from this big giant, emanating thing up here. But yeah, this old man kind of just, he's just looking at you with just shock. Where'd you come from?
Erlos just kind of stares at him, like taking note of him, and kind of like just looking him over. He doesn't say anything to him, and he just kind of looks around the room.
His clothes are like, there's kind of like just kind of fabric covering him right now, but like the clothing style that he does have, it's tattered, it's torn, but it's unlike anything you've ever seen. It's like it's a completely different style, and as you're staring, you also come to the realization that the words are different than you're used to, but you understand them. Like, for some reason, it's like common, but it's not. It's and you're not even sure what common is anymore. But yeah, So what do you do?
Erlo like kind of takes a measure of him, and he kind of looks down and glances at himself, and kind of like he just kind of like moves the cloak a little bit to see his thigh. He lets it drop. He just looks around a little more. He's like, "Where is this place?"
And as the words come out of your mouth, you have that same like sudden realization that they're a little bit different than what you're used to, yet completely understandable to you. What was it?
Oh,
what was it you said? Sorry.
He's like, "Where is this place?" But he's kind of just like unreadable, like his face. He's just kind of He's on the defense right now, just looking around and trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
Because he's
yeah.
all discombobulated, so he's just kind of shutting himself. He's kind of like shutting himself inwards for a minute, you know.
Well, he looks up, like, well, where are you? That's a tricky question. So we're in the depths of Absalom Station. It is, and specifically, this place used to be called the Shrine of Forgotten Gods. Basically, like, how far away are you from? Have you been to Absalom before?
He kind of looks around more. He's like, not that I remember. In
Yeah, this
fact, I'd
is.
like to know what a station is.
Ooh, he kind of. I don't know if I'm sober enough to tell you that one, man. And he kind of
Well, get there.
looks up and then offers you like a little injection thing, like you want some? Like there's a little needle and kind of like a hypo bag kind of thing.
Ah, no.
Yeah,
Ah!
he's offering.
Ah! No, Airlil's like, no, thank you.
Lies.
Suit yourself. Shoots up, kind of. Oh, that's the stuff.
You
And he
couldn't
kind
have...
of slumps down by these steps here and looks up. Well, you're the first angel to show up in a while. I mean, Asimar, I suppose. Not the
Angel?
only one here, but look at you. The wings. I
And,
mean,
and the thing about like I'm fusing the two ASMR. He's still got the
yeah.
pupilless kind of like eyes, but like his eyes kind of glimmer a little bit with like
Yeah.
that crackling, just a little, just enough. Like if it was in the dark, you'd see him a little bit, you know. Because that's how ASMR. They have pupils, I guess, because I've read them. But I'm blending the two, you know.
Yeah.
And
Well, this guy's
he would
definitely
probably
got
notice. He probably knows I have no pupils either. But you know,
he's definitely looking at you with like both horror and awe, and like there's a moment where he kind of is
like my
his
wedding
eyes
night.
kind of cross over and he's real like, have you
Order
come
and
here
awe.
to punish me?
Say again.
He's like, are you here to punish me? Is my time now?
Well, have you done anything wrong and unjust? Perhaps taking substances you shouldn't.
Punish me.
Probably every day.
To me.
And he looks down at the hypo thing and is like, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I kind of fucked up, yeah. But most of us down here just kind of do what we can to survive.
It's never too late to change your path. He's just kind of, and he'll start like walking around a little bit, just kind of looking around as he talks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The cloak kind of,
Well,
you know, dragging a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah. Kind of. You kind of are looking around, and as you kind of look, you start seeing like in the corners, like off slumped in like some of these like darker areas. You there are skeletons, dead body or dead atrophied bodies that have withered into nothing but bone that are just kind of left there, all in different poses. There's you can definitely, as you're looking up here, you can spot like one or two kind of crumpled off to the side, like as if there were people here that were praying at one and died while praying.
Why were the bodies not removed? And second of all, if this place is so dilapidated, why are you here?
Well, this is one of the few safe places that very few come through anymore. We're kind of in a lost neighborhood of abandoned memories. And he kind of gestures down some of the halls. These used to be living quarters for the people of Galarian, when that planet used to exist. They had to escape here, from what I've been told. And so thousands and thousands of people living in these dark quarters. And then there was, I don't know how much I should be explaining to you. Like, how much of history do you know? Kind of looks at you like, do you know what the gap is?
Yes, the space between all two objects.
It's also the time where everyone in the universe can't remember what happened.
Plus
So
me.
many people woke up and they found this space. And it was like this, and not many people go down here. It's largely been abandoned because it's a ghost town. But some of us come down here because there's not many around. There's not many reasons to be down here.
I assume the
All the
forgotten
forgotten.
I assume the
Okay,
forgotten gods and the gap are related.
I don't think we don't know. It's a thing that happened.
Wish someone knew something. What is this symbol up
Light.
here? He points to the light for the sword. It's kind of drawing. It's kind of like sort of like a sword. Kind of feels that to him. Kind of drawing a
Mhm.
little bit like, what is this symbol?
The name's been forgotten, but it was some sort of holy adventure that, you know, sought justice, fought for peace. And as you're looking at it, you notice that the light source begins to twist in color a little bit. Starts to get just a little bit like
Nice.
color begins to start dripping in, and then it
Look at the
starts
screen stuff.
getting just a little bit darker and a little bit darker.
Ooh.
And then out of that glowing light, you see these shadows begin to start pouring out like tendrils beginning to stretch out. And then you hear this screech, an ear splitting screech. You do not belong here. And these shadows begin to stretch out towards the skeletons that lie crumpled along these candles and shrines and start wrapping themselves around these skeletons. And you almost think you start seeing shapes beginning to form. But then at that moment, you also feel this tremendous ripple of energy just that knocks you off your feet momentarily
Balls
with
in
the
the air.
force, and the man that you were talking to, he panics, "Ah!" and stumbles back and starts scrambling away as shadows begin to materialize along the sides.
Airlo's gonna respond to the old man and say, "I suggest you
Yep.
leave as soon as you can, and if you have any kids, call them.
As you turn back, he's already ran.
Make sure to call your kids if you have any.
I will! As he runs off.
Get off the
And
damn
these shadows and the shadows wrap around the skeletons, and you can almost see murky dark flesh forming along the bones of the arms and the rib cage, flesh along the face, but black and distorted, almost like the equivalent like a creepy pasta that we would watch.
Yeah.
Just these elongated faces, eyes that don't quite mesh. It's like the facsimile of humans, but obviously not. And you can see these like red glows in the eye as they all stand, and this ripple of energy emanates out again, and you can hear this shriek, "You do not belong. You will return." And that's where we're going to stop tonight.
Okay.
That's where we will pick up next time.
I already know
Very
what
nice.
I already know what his next move is. So Airlo's, I mean.
Yeah, sorry, some of those segments.
No, it's good.
I was going to actually end this with not this being a combat, but a combat down the line. But with time, I was like, okay, we probably should end it about here, and that's why I did the hard transition. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's combat. I got nothing on me, literally. I don't even have the stuff
exactly.
in my inventory.
I
Except
figured this would
one
be a good
thing.
incentive for you to run.
Except, well, I don't know. Except he's got one thing on him left.
Mhm.
Not his cloak, but he's got the Libram.
Yeah.
That's what he's gonna turn to next. At least that's my hint.
Okay.
We don't take.
Just open it up.
So
You know?
before we wrap up here real quick, I just wanted to kind of ask, how's everyone feeling? How you feel about the mood? Is there any concerns?
Love it.
Anything you want me to focus on?
No, I love it actually. I've had a lot of fun. I could have went longer probably, honestly, but it's okay.
I could have too, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's okay though.
Well, this is probably a good time to kind of, call it.
Yeah, I get it. No, I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I'm not saying to continue. I'm just saying I could have gone longer. I'm having a good time.
Oh yeah, I probably could have as well, but Oh, but yeah, so everyone's okay with how things are going so far,
Yeah.
interpretations, everything.
Yeah, doing a great job.
Okay.
You're very good
Yeah.
narratively, my friend.
Painted a good mind picture.
You've been watching some Dimension 20.
I may have,
And the scenes,
but I'm trying not
closer
to.
into
I'm trying not to completely mimic him.
Yeah. No, it's
No, I'm
fine.
trying to get my
If
own.
you're gonna mimic something,
Yeah.
It's
or-
okay to pull from it and like get tips and like tricks to use to